What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of FORNEVERNEWS, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so before we get started, just want to say thank you for supporting the first week of Season 2 of FORNEVERNEWS. We did pretty good for those first 3 days of episodes, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm just really optimistic and excited about this new chapter that we're starting with the show, with the series, with the channel, and just in general, having the support of you guys means the world. Also, for the people that aren't subscribed, it definitely would mean a lot if you would hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get all notifications. We're doing some really awesome work over here, and we're having a great time, and I think it would be really dope if you joined us. That way you're notified whenever we drop a new episode of FORNEVERNEWS, because in case you didn't know, Season 2 FORNEVERNEWS has started. We're doing episodes Monday through Friday, shorter than the norm, but they're always going to be packed with awesome stories. And yeah, without further ado, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get started. And to start the episode off, we've got an awesome story regarding the Chainsaw Man manga sweeping the West, and I just love to freaking hear it. Y'all know I'm a massive Chainsaw Man fan, been supporting the series since early on in the manga's release. We just heard recently at Jump Festa, again, an update that the anime and manga's continuation, Chainsaw Man 2, will both be dropping in 2022. Here, though, it looks like the West is loving it, and it's just mind-boggling because there's no anime, and for a series to pop and be this successful with no anime, especially in the West where anime is still far more popular than manga, it speaks volumes, pun intended, regarding Chainsaw Man. Let's read this though. Chainsaw Man is once again the highest ranking manga on the New York Times list for January 2022. The New York Times recently shared its list of best-selling graphic books and manga for January 2022, and the first week of the new year sees big jump manga titles among the top 15 releases. The 8th volume of Tatsuki Fujimoto's peerless Chainsaw Man manga sits proudly in the number 8 spot between scholastic hits like Christie and the Snobs by Anne M. Martin and For Whom the Ball Rolls by Dave Pilkey as the highest manga of the month. This is also despite being released only 1 month ago in December 2022. And I want to say, if this is volume 8, there's only like 2 more volumes to be released of Chainsaw Man here in the West, because there's only 10 if I'm not mistaken. And I ain't gonna lie, I just love to hear it. I love to see it. Chainsaw Man is just gonna continue to get even more successful. I can only imagine what the numbers are going to be like once that MAPPA anime drops, which we've been saying that for so long now. It feels like forever, I'm not gonna lie, even though the manga ended, what was it, December of 2020, and here we are, 2022, still like, the anime is gonna do big things. Whenever we get it, we're gonna get it eventually. I mean, and not to mention Chainsaw Man 2, even though there's gonna be a massive buffer between, well, actually there might not be, depending on what the licensing issue is, because hey, if Viz gets the license to Chainsaw Man 2 immediately, then by the time volume 10 drops, we might have already volume 1 of Chainsaw Man 2 getting ready to be coming out over there in Japan. So who knows, maybe there might not be such a major buff in between, but either way, I just love to hear that Chainsaw Man is doing so well. Top 10 in the New York Times bestsellers, again, without an anime. That is freaking amazing. Okay, people, next up, very funny, but cool, but funny and odd story. We had reported on, I guess, the initial press release regarding this whole issue or thingamajig regarding Attack on Titan crossing over with Call of Duty. I reported it, I want to say maybe a few weeks to a month ago now, that they had announced they're doing a big crossover collaboration, and a lot of people were like, well, that's an odd release, but okay, maybe it could work, and at the same time, it'll boost both of them. More people find out about Attack on Titan via Call of Duty, and vice versa, because, anime fans, they'll support anything when it comes to their, favorite franchise or whatnot. So it sounds like a great, crossover idea marketing-wise, but I'm not gonna lie, from the visuals and whatnot, I mean, I'm not a COD fan. I've never been a Call of Duty fan. I'm not a first-person shooter fan pretty much at all. But I was just kind of like, hey, this could be a good... It's not. Let's read and take a look at what's going on here. It says, Attack on Titan collides with Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone in new collaboration. If you ever wanted to run around Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty Warzone Pacific decked out Survey Corp style, you have a colossal crossover to look forward to. In celebration of the long-awaited launch of Attack on Titan Titan Final Season Part 2, Vanguard and Warzone will be launching the franchise's first official anime collaboration. The Tracer Pack Attack on Titan Levi Edition bundle will go live along with the next major update on January 20th. The 10-item bundle comes with Attack on Titan themed weapons and gear, including the Titan Pierce melee weapon, an ODM blade inspired weapon blueprint, legendary steel cut finishing move, and more. In addition to decking out your own operator with these weapons, you'll be able to see Sergeant Daniel Yatsu looking fiercer than ever in a Survey Corps uniform inspired by Captain Levi Ackerman. And I'm not gonna lie, it just, a lot of people, first of all, when they saw this, they're like, wait, so that's supposed to be Levi? Like, it just, no. Just, no. And again, I believe that's one of the characters from the game that is like almost cosplaying in a way as Levi with this update, but it's just like, with just a little over a week to go until the bundles launch in Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty Warzone Pacific, there's no better time than now to work on your Call of Duty skills so you can pull off stylish moves worthy of a real Survey Corps member come January 20th. And yeah, I think I'll pass. Even if I played Call of Duty, I don't like. There's a difference between like, okay, what they did with Fortnite recently with the Naruto, you know, character skins that you could play as and stuff like that, and you could have the Nine-Tailed Fox Kurama, you could ride on him into battle and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Fortnite or whatever, but I'll play from time to time. If my nephew or my niece or somebody is playing it, then yeah, sure, I'll grab a controller and have a little bit of fun. But it was like, alright, dope, they got the characters in the game. This one is like taking random dudes and just having them cosplay as, is just, it's a no-go for me. It's gonna be a no, okay? Like, shout outs to the idea and the marketing concept behind it, but if they would have just added Levi himself into the game, I think that kind of would have been dope. But to just have like a random dude just like cosplaying as Levi in the game, it's almost like they're adding in a creative character in a way and adding in extra like accessories from Attack on Titan. I just, no. And I'm sure there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like, oh, come on, FORNEV, man, you've supported worse when it comes to these video games where they do things like that. I mean, for crying out loud, Naruto Storm, they have freaking Sakura Hello Kitty DLC, and absolutely, but I also ragged on that as well. Like, I may have gotten that DLC back in the day, but I ragged on it just like I'm ragging on this, because why? But yeah, people, in case you don't know, come January 20th, there is a DLC bundle of Levi Ackerman, where a character from Call of Duty can cosplay if you pick up the DLC, and it looks, no. But shout outs to everybody that's gonna have fun doing this. Hey, if it floats your boat, why not? I ain't stopping you. I'm just giving my opinion that I don't really... Okay, people, so next story on the docket. We got a couple of pieces of updates of news regarding Jujutsu Kaisen, one of which in particular, I was like, well, if it's a behemoth and if it's doing insane numbers over there in Japan, then you're gonna need another behemoth, another giant, a juggernaut to come and remove it from its spot, right? And at the end of the day, there's no film in the box office right now that is even coming close to the impact, love, admiration, and support than the Spider-Man film that came out recently. I believe it's called No Way Home, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me, I have not been into the latest trilogy of Spider-Man films. I think one of the last ones I seen was the old I say old like it was 100 million years ago, but the Andrew Garfield led Spider-Man movies. I've seen like, I think one of those or whatnot, but yeah, I haven't been into it since like hardcore since I was younger with the Tobey Maguire trilogy of Spider-Man films. So this one, I recently purchased the other two, so I might check them out and then go watch the third one in theaters if it's still in theaters by the time I watch them or whatnot. But either way, Spider-Man No Way Home is a juggernaut that everybody is supporting, and it's huge. So if anything is going to remove Jujutsu Kaisen 0 from its throne, it would be Spider-Man, because according to this, it says Spider-Man dethrones Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in Japanese box office. Spider-Man No Way Home takes the box office lead in Japan, with Jujutsu Kaisen film slipping to the second spot. And then a little bit more insight into here. It says Jujutsu Kaisen 0 moves up to the 75th place on all-time Japanese box office charts. So even though it took an L to Spider-Man, which if you're going to take an L to anything, yeah, you would want to take an L to the biggest film of the last, I don't even know, couple of years. Like, Spider-Man is just blowing the hell up, right? So, but, and also on top of that, despite it taking an L, it's still moving up, because we just reported that it was like 80th, now it's 75th, which again, when it's all said and done, I'm wondering where we're going to be at with it in the Hall of Fame of, you know, highest grossing Japanese films of all time, because 75th place, it's still like, you know, it's rising, but I don't know, similar to what I said last time, where like, hey, we're 80th, yeah, let's celebrate. It just kind of feels like, I don't know, like I'd celebrate when we're top 20. I gotta keep saying that. And also it says, in just 21 days, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero anime film has outpaced the highest grossing film of last year, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, so it already outgrossed it at the domestic Japanese box office by more than 2 billion yen in the same time frame, with Toho announcing that the prequel film to the Jujutsu Kaisen franchise had passed 8 billion yen at the Japanese box office today. This places the film at 75th place on the all-time Japanese box office charts. As of Thursday, January 13th, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero has brought in more than 8 billion yen, almost 70 million, 69.59 million, on the back of 5.89 million tickets sold. The anime film has overtaken Harry Potter and the Half-Blooded Prince as the 75th highest grossing film. Wow, that's pretty freaking crazy, because Japan, they love them some Harry Potter. In case you don't know, Naruto, one of the concepts originally was tossed around by Kishimoto was to make Naruto kind of like Harry Potter. We got Mashle that is pretty much like somewhat Harry Potter-ish. Like, Japan loves them some Harry Potter. So for Jujutsu Kaisen Zero to surpass a big Harry Potter film, that's interesting. And it sits under 2010's Umizaru 3, The Last Message. It's clear by now that Jujutsu Kaisen Zero will surpass 10 billion yen very soon, overtaking the final gross of Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, and is likely to soar to 15 billion yen or more, pending any outside influences, though time will tell when it'll reach that amount. So regardless of what, that's still major, huge congrats to Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just kind of mind-blowing to me that this is the way they're marketing, which, hey, you know, take what you can get. If you can get an accolade, why not? Because at the end of the day, that always just pushes more people like, oh, you're doing that? Okay, I gotta go watch it. And then this doesn't even speak to what it's going to do over here in the West. Like, I could see at the very least, Jujutsu Kaisen's probably going to do 15 to 20 million dollars, maybe even more, depending, because Jujutsu Kaisen it's popping, okay? Like, a lot of people know what's up with it. It's always regarded as cut above the rest when it comes to shonen manga and shonen anime in general. And this film, I'm ready for it, baby. We heard that it might be coming out in February. Let's hope so, because my ass is gonna be in theaters, okay? My ass is gonna be right there waiting for that Jujutsu Kaisen greatness. Don't let me down, Yuta. Don't let me down, Mappa. I know you're not gonna let me down, Mappa, yeah. Yeah. So shout outs to Jujutsu Kaisen. We may have taken an L against Spider-Man, but we still rising, baby. And the rest of the world still hasn't even gotten the film yet. It's just Japan rocking out right now. Okay, people, next up, small story, I guess you would say. I just thought it was very funny and interesting. The creator of Hajime no Ippo, George Morikawa, over on Twitter, recently posted this. He said, I received the example reader gift, which these are Google translations, so forgive me if they were a little wonky. When I came up with this, I wonder if the people in charge took a guts pose, and pretty much it's a mouse pad, and it's like a booby mouse pad of Takamura from Hajime no Ippo. I do not know if I would want that, because like, yo, it's a manly, like, yo, he's buff and shit, you know, he got muscles for days, he got pecs for days and shit like that, but it is just awkward, I guess you would say. Like, if somebody saw that in your crib, part of me would be like torn. Like, on one half I'd be like, nah, I don't give a fuck, yo, this is Takamura, dog, this is the epitome of manliness. But then on the other side I'd be like, oh my god, but it's like a boob pad but for Takamura. Like, this is so freaking strange. Like, who's decided, you know what, man, I think George Morikawa would love a booby pad of Takamura from Hajime no Ippo. Like, people be wilding out, like, yo, I don't know, I just found it to be freaking hilarious, and George Morikawa posting it up on Twitter was that much more funnier. Of like, dog, yeah, people be doing some wild shit, dog. Like Takamura booby pads, hey, why the hell not? But yeah, people just a little something light for Hajime no Ippo fans. I know we don't get no anime, we don't get no western manga release, we don't get nada over here. So if there's something I could say about the series, I'm gonna say it. I love Hajime no Ippo. I've watched every single piece of animated content of it out there that is available, okay? I love me some Ippo. Shout outs to George Morikawa, shout outs to the Takamura booby pad. Okay, people, and last story of the episode. Well, we technically got like two pieces, because I want to at least say, you know, something positive, because it's a very negative and troubling thing with one of these pieces of the story, because it's both Demon Slayer related. So I wanted to just spread some type of, hey, there's something good, because this is always something very scary to think about, very worrisome for anybody in general. But this article is, of course, again, about one of the voice actors of Demon Slayer. We'll get to it in a second. Let's just read a little bit of positivity, I guess, because according to this, which which it kind of boggles my mind. It always boggles my mind just what these new gen of shonen are doing. Kimetsu no Yaiba coloring books, not manga, not a light novel, a freaking coloring book. The coloring books themselves as total have reached 1.45 million copies in circulation. Coloring books. Blue has 440,000 copies with 6 reprints. Red has 410,000 copies with 4 reprints. Orange and Indigo have 300,000 copies of an initial print. No reprints on that. And it says here also, Kimetsu no Yaiba novel series has reached 3.72 million copies in circulation. Flower of Happiness has 1.26 million copies. One Winged Butterfly has 1.25 million copies. And the Kimetsu no Yaiba Mirai Bunko novel series has 1.1 million copies in circulation. So coloring books are selling almost 1.5 million copies. The novels is doing 3.7 million. So if you feared that maybe things were slowing down because obviously there's no new manga volumes to release, even though they're still charting, and it boggles my mind that it's still charting. I get it, the anime is on TV, but how many more people is there that has not read Demon Slayer over there in Japan? Like, Kimetsu no Yaiba has been, a phenomenon like no other. This is like Pokemon in the early 2000s, but in Japan right here. So how many more people can buy? And there's still, like, that goes to show too that this is something that is hitting and affecting all ages over there, because coloring books, let's keep it real, 9 times out of 10 coloring books is usually for younger children and whatnot. Like, my daughter loves coloring books and stuff like that. So if you're selling 1.5 million coloring books, kids is rocking with it. Then probably older people are loving it because of the Japanese culture that is embedded in it, that is talking about like the olden days and whatnot. Of course, the time period of it takes place like in the early 1900s or something like that. So then you have that aspect of it. Then people anywhere from teenagers to adults can appreciate the awesome action. The more older people, adults and whatnot, and people in general that can appreciate art and animation of high quality are loving it. So this is really hitting all ages. Just once again, major shout outs to the level of success that Demon Slayer has seen, selling millions of coloring books. Like, millions of coloring books. I gotta keep repeating that. Like, woo! However, we do have one really troubling story to report on, because in case y'all don't know, the Demon Slayer anime right now is still currently airing. I'm not sure how far they are into doing the voice acting, if they've completed all their sessions or whatnot, but yeah, they're still technically airing the anime. The anime is still releasing for season 2, and it's unfortunate to hear that the voice actor of Tanjiro may have contracted COVID. Let's read the article. Demon Slayer voice actor Natsuki Hane self-isolates due to possible COVID close contact. Talent agency Across Entertainment announced on Friday that voice actor Natsuki Hane is self-isolating after being in close contact with a staff member who tested positive on a routine PCR test on Friday. The agency is postponing a special event for the Duke of Death and His Maid anime that was slated to be held on Saturday. Hane was scheduled to appear at the event. Hane himself posted on Twitter that he is renting a room where he can isolate away from his family and also continue recording. He also added that he is currently feeling fine. So at the very least, that's good news to hear that he is fine. Hane is currently starring in the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc anime as Tanjiro Kamado. Also currently airing or upcoming anime he's cast in includes Hiraware, Heroine to Naisho no, just a whole bunch of Love All Play. He's in Platinum N, the case study of Vanitas. He's in Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2. And he's in Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War. I didn't know that he was in Bleach. Holy shit. Man, I'm just sending a lot of positive prayers, positive vibes and thoughts and all that to this guy. Like, COVID is no joke. Everybody already knows. You've been hearing it. I've lost so many people over the last couple of years due to it. I myself was sick at the very start of this year. It's just nothing to play around with, so I hope he gets better. I'm glad that he's at the very least feeling well, because obviously the symptoms can range and vary and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to hear, and hopefully this doesn't, obviously, first and foremost, affect him or his family members. Good thing that he's self-isolating away, so that's really awesome. But hopefully it doesn't stop production of Demon Slayer. I mean, if it needs to, do it. That's it. period. Like, if it needs to, if he's too sick to do anything and they're still recording, oh well, his health is more important than the entire production. That it just is what it is. But I'd imagine that they probably, considering the season is almost over, it's a shorter season, they probably have production of the voice acting and whatnot wrapped up already for the remaining episodes. Maybe I'm wrong on that or whatever, because I know in Japan they actually, if I'm not mistaken, do it differently than American cartoons. American cartoons, we record the audio first, send it over to Japan, and they animate around it. Over there in Japan, they do it like we do dubbing over here, where they just dub over the lines, and like a big room with everybody combined, almost like a reading play, so to speak. But obviously you can't do that as well if you're sick. You can't have him surrounding all the other voice actors and whatnot. So definitely, I just want him to get better, and I hope his family is good and straight and everything, because it's just shitty to hear. So first story on the docket is regarding Attack on Titan. Y'all know the final season part 2 is underway. The second episode of the final season part 2, or I believe episode 18 chronologically, recently aired. And a lot of the community, and I'm going to show you in a second, were once again going back to an argument that I kind of thought was already over with. And what I mean by that is a lot of people were going back to the whole comparing MAPPA with Wit Studio. In case you don't know, Attack on Titan for the final season, it switched to Animation Studios and went from Wit Studio that did the first 3 seasons to MAPPA Studios. MAPPA Studios, of course, they do amazing work with Jujutsu Kaisen, a whole bunch of really awesome stuff. They're working on Chainsaw Man right now. They do fantastic work. Dororo, like really awesome stuff. I've been, for the most part, like with the first half of the final season, there was a couple of criticisms, like the CG was a little bit wonky in certain areas, but hands down, at the very least from my experience with the latest 2 episodes and whatnot, I feel like MAPPA improved so much more from what they did with the first season. And in general, I have next to no complaints in regards to comparing it to like, oh, Wit did it like this and MAPPA did it like this. In fact, it kind of just feels already old to go back to that. Like, I get it, Wit Studio, they did the works. Each and every freaking frame just looked gorgeous for Attack on Titan. The characters, everything about it, the Titans and whatnot, they did fantastic work. I mean, there were some arguable towards like season 3. I remember when they started really implementing the CG for like the Colossal Titan. Look a little wonky in certain areas, but for the most part, Wit was great. But it just feels like it's so late in the game to bring this argument back up and to once again start the whole MAPPA versus Wit Studio. As fans of Attack on Titan, I gotta stress that we should be extremely grateful to MAPPA Studios for even taking on the task of continuing Attack on Titan. It could have gone the way of just production issues and people, you know what, if nobody wanted to grab the rights for it from Wit Studio, it could have just been no anime. Like, that's it. It ended off with season 3. Poof, that's the end of Attack on Titan's anime. So the fact that MAPPA Studios, knowing that fans are never receptive of studio changes and it usually goes terribly wrong, and then the production schedule is really rushed, a la like, you know, you go to the 7 Deadly Sins and stuff like that, we should be very thankful to MAPPA Studios and not throwing stones at them and still going on with this really old and tired ass argument of, well, Wit Studio did something like this and MAPPA, like, it's old. I mean, I'm just taking a look right here, one of which that has like almost 6,000 likes as of the screenshot. They're comparing that like place of like nothingness or whatever, where Wit did it and where MAPPA did it. And yeah, Wit's, it looks like they have more of a realistic composite for the background, while MAPPA did like a blur effect. Then another person said there's a notable difference between MAPPA's and Wit's paths. If Wit opted for a more starry sky with dense and bright colors, MAPPA opted for CGI paths in constant motion and with a larger color variation. We'll see the real results in almost a week, but right now I prefer the older one. So again, like that. Then there's people that are complaining about the people that are complaining, a la pretty much what I'm doing right now, saying, why are people still comparing MAPPA and Wit? Both studios produce masterpiece level Attack on Titan adaptations. That got 1,400 likes. Somebody saying people fomenting this meaningless war between Wit and MAPPA is exactly why the Attack on Titan fandom is a perfect window on what the series is about. Very few people finding a blatant excuse to push a narrative against someone who did nothing wrong, attack them, and cause an ongoing in War. Another shot with somebody putting Wit for the Beast Titan and Mappa for the Beast Titan. This one right here, people should be happy Mappa's animating the rumbling, because if it was Wit, this is what y'all would be getting. And it showed, like, you know, now they disrespecting Wit on this side of things. Another one, season 2 of the Beast Titan, season 4 with the Beast Titan, Wit, and then Mappa, and it's real blurry from Mappa, Wit and Mappa. It is outrageous. Then another person said, my biggest ongoing issue with Mappa's projects has been the use of music during episodes. There are many moments I feel would have hit much harder with different music direction, choices, and timing. Hope Attack on Titan delivers this season. Wit Studio was always one of my favorites with this. So yeah, even before the season started back up, people were still with the Wit Studio, all of that jazz. Like, yo, it's over. Mappa saved it, allowed us to even have these conversations, allowed us to get such a legendary and godlike opening, like the final opening rumbling by Sim, and I'm having an absolute blast. And again, until we get to that part of the story where I might have a differing opinion, and that's nothing to do with the animation adaptation, that's strictly to do with the story, I am loving what Mappa's doing right now, and I think that it's really old and ridiculous at this point. We already had a whole 16 episodes of Mappa. They've improved since then, on top of already doing some pretty good work. Leave the Wit Studio Mappa comparisons alone already, because it's also really disheartening to the staff down at Mappa that they're being, you know, ridiculously overworked. So if they're gonna be overworked and they're going for it and all that jazz, at the very least we can do as fans is not disrespect them and essentially spit in their face while they're, you know, giving us their blood, sweat, and tears. But yeah, I just wanted to address this thing because it's a little bit out of this world. Attack on Titan fans infighting again over Mappa with Studio. Let's just enjoy Attack on Titan until, well, maybe it might be unenjoyable. Oh god, let me just stop. Like, yeah, let's just enjoy the Attack on Titan anime, okay? Okay, people, next story on the episode. It's very unfortunate because we just talked about in yesterday's episode that the voice actor for Tanjiro from Demon Slayer was around somebody that had contracted COVID and he was isolated and, you know, all of that terrible stuff. Now it seems as though another prominent voice actor, the actor that plays the main villain of the Boruto series right now in the anime, Code, has seemingly contracted COVID as well. It says here, voice actor Junta Terashima tests positive for COVID. Talent agency Kenyu Office announced on Saturday that voice actor Junta Terashima tested positive for COVID on Saturday. Terashima took a PCR test after developing a fever on Friday. He had been in close contact with someone else who had tested positive for the virus. Terashima is currently recuperating at home. He posted on Twitter on Saturday that he has a minor illness with a sore throat and a small fever. Terashima has voiced in such roles as Hyoga Yukimura in Inazuma 11 Go, Code in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, Shin Ichijo in King of Prism by Pretty Rhythm, Mamoru Fujimura in Suki Pro the animation. Like, he's been in a decent amount of work, and, you know, this one's a little bit more worrisome because the voice actor for Tanjiro, he was just exposed to somebody that was exposed to the virus. This gentleman, you know, the person that plays Code, actually has it. So again, sending positive wishes. Thankfully, I don't think that in terms of like that big production with Boruto, he's gonna have many roles like in the near future, because like we're in a whole anime original stuff right now and we're probably not gonna see Code for a while anyways. So yeah, I think we'll be for the most part good in that aspect of like worrying about, you know, the production. But above all of that is strictly like, yo, I hope he gets better. I hope his family's good. I hope everything is good, because like I said with yesterday's episode regarding Tanjiro's voice actor, you know, this shit ain't no joke. It whipped my ass when I got it. I was like, I hadn't felt sick like that in a very, very long time. So my best wishes, positive vibes to him, and hopefully he gets better real soon and it ain't nothing serious, because yeah, it could get real bad. Salute to the voice actor of Code from Boruto because he got COVID. Okay, people, next up we got two pieces of Demon Slayer news, one of which is, I don't know, a lot of drama filled stuff, and then another one is insanely great news. I guess let's start with the negativity actually, and then we can wrap things up on a very beautiful vibe. I like that better, having a happier ending, because, well, for starters, one of the things is from last week's episode, not the recent episode of Demon Slayer. I haven't even watched it yet. Oh my god, as soon as I wrap this up, I'm going to watch me some Demon Slayer. Yeah. But with last week's episode, and probably even this week's episode, I'd imagine, one of the things is in Demon Slayer, you have his little sister, the main character, Tanjiro's little sister, Nezuko, that is, spoiler alert, so you learned this in episode 1, a demon. And she's about like 14 or 15. Well, in one of the recent episodes, she was having a battle, and during the battle, her body started developing developing somewhat, and it caused a massive outrage in the anime community. People talking left and right like, oh my god, she's only 14 or 15, why are they giving her these attributes, even though that's been a common theme in anime since the dawn of time, of making these 14 and 15-year-old schoolgirls look like they're grown-ass women. But a lot of people were very upset, and then they were countering back and forth, arguing about it. Personally, I'm not looking at Nezuko like that. Like, it's Nezuko, it's Tanjiro's little sister, it's funny as shit. You know, I like when she gets really badass and stuff like that, but I'm not really interested in looking at her like that. But the drama and the community of people going back and forth, even right here it says, Nezuko received a big power-up in the recent episode, but apparently not every Demon Slayer fan is okay with Nezuko's revealing dress. And yeah, people were going ham. And again, like I said, you know, this is a staple in anime culture, whether you want to agree with it or not. Honestly, you know, as I get older a little bit, I started to look at it a little bit in a different light of like, yeah, especially if there's older people, probably shouldn't. But at the same time, a lot of the older shows, we got to remember that anime nowadays, it's more like almost, you could argue, targeted towards older people, which at that case, you know, you should make older characters looking like that. But especially back in the days, anime and manga was specifically created for like younger, you know, Shonen Jump. It's like for like little teenage tween boys or whatnot. Again, now they target a little bit more and they gather a little bit more of an older demographic. You know, for me, I'm still, you know, rocking with Shonen Jump and shit like that. But yeah, a 14 or 15-year-old that's reading this and is gonna say, oh shit, hot demon girl. And probably even now as well over there in Japan, because it's so massive, it hits every age demographic. That's probably why they do that. So I understand in that aspect, but for like the creeps and pervs that are like, oh, like, yeah, it's kind of nasty. And just in general, it was a shit show. I was seeing of people that were arguing back and forth regarding the revealing nature, even though like the episode is epic as shit, the battling, everything that's going on, the art, the animation, but the topic of conversation was Nezuko's revealing dress. Anime community 2022, baby. Here we go. But as I promised, I did want to provide you guys with a positive story, because Demon Slayer once again was whipping major tail, and probably up until the end of the run for the most part, maybe like one or two more times at the very least, I will point these ones out, because again, the ratings for one of the recent Demon Slayer episodes over the week, I want to say of like the 1st of January, somewhere around there, to like the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, basically early January, Demon Slayer was the number one, and this is a very, very big feat, humongous feat. One Piece never does this, Case Closed never does this. It's usually only the kiddie anime that top the charts. Demon Slayer topped the charts, beating out every single anime of that week with a 7.7. Now, I do want to add a disclaimer that Demon Slayer beat out all of these anime in like the end of the year, beginning of the year time frame, where they continued airing episodes, and a lot of other anime went on break, like Boruto, One Piece, all of those anime were on break at that time. So you also gotta account that, well, a lot of people that were probably bored that week were like, oh shit, even if they don't watch Demon Slayer, let me check out this Demon Slayer show. So that probably attributed to that, and at the same time, again, less competition. Like, I don't think Saze-san, one of the most popular anime over there, is like a kiddie cartoon, aired an episode as well. But either way, it's still massive to see Demon Slayer at the tippy top, outdoing everything. But then the rest of the list is like Shaun the Sheep and Doraemon and yeah, Gigantosaurus. Yeah, it definitely looks like Demon Slayer really didn't have much competition as I'm looking at this list, because Case Closed, One Piece, Inuyasha spinoff, all of those were on break this week. But nevertheless, a win is a win. Demon Slayer, the #1 most watched anime of that week. I'm dying to see what the ratings were like for last week's episode, because that episode was just huge. And even the latest episode, I keep hearing about that. I gotta go watch right now because it was huge too. But yeah, people, that's all of the Demon Slayer related news we got. Anime topping the weekly charts of anime, and people going at each other's necks over Nezuko's revealing dress. Okay, people, next up, My Hero Academia fans, a really awesome announcement for you guys. It seems as though we're going to be getting a new My Hero Academia OVA. Let's read the article so we can understand exactly what's happening. It says here, My Hero Academia Hawks OVA to screen with movie showings in Japan. Back in December, it was revealed that the Japanese Blu-ray release of My Hero Academia's third anime film World Heroes Mission will be packing a special OVA when it arrives on February 16th. No XXX Hawk's Sooth is an anime adaptation of the bonus manga that was handed out to filmgoers in the first weeks of the film's release, and the latest plans have the OVA set to screen theatrically along with the new limited edition showings of the movie. New screenings of World Heroes Mission are in place to commemorate the Blu-ray/DVD release, and right now 10 theaters in Japan are scheduled to screen it along with the Hawks OVA from January 22nd to the 27th, and the packaging here looks freaking fuego. My god, I wish we had similar type of releases over here, but when they do, they be charging an arm and a leg, even though they charge an arm and a leg over there. And it just says here, My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission opened in Japan August 6, 2021. It is the highest grossing film in the franchise in the country, and it did $40.30 million. So My Hero Academia movie did about $40 million. That's not bad. It's kind of crazy to think, and just boggles my mind. And I guess that's the difference between something that you don't expect to blow up and something that is targeted. Like My Hero Academia was designed to be the next big thing. Like, it was pushed, designed, likewise with Black Clover, to be the next big shonen to replace the footsteps of Naruto and Bleach and all of the other big shonen at the time that came to an end. Obviously, we know about Black Clover. It never really rose to the occasion. And My Hero Academia, it's like, it's always been popular, like really popular, and in the West, it's like a monster in and of itself. It was the highest selling manga of 2020, all of that jazz. But then when you compare, like, even if it's just in Japan alone, and you look at like Jujutsu Kaisen's latest film, and this is, you know, the latest one of My Hero, did about 40 million, biggest opening and biggest run it's had for a movie so far. But then you look at Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and that shit is already in like the first 2 to 3 weeks at 70 million, and it's probably going to top 100 to 150 million worldwide. It just shows like Jujutsu Kaisen, while it's great, it probably wasn't really ideally thought of like it's going to be the biggest thing in Jump of all time. So an accidental blow up like Jujutsu Kaisen or of course Demon Slayer will always show that My Hero, it's great. I love so many things about it. Like the manga, when it's on 10, it is on 10 for me. But it's ultimately was designed to be popular, and hence why it still is very successful. But you have these freaks of nature, these anomalies like the JJKs and the Demon Slayers that just show a different breed of success. And of course, there's so many other things to attribute to those levels of success. But either way, I don't know how the hell I got to this conversation. Shout outs to My Hero Academia. New OVA is based off of the Hawks manga that came through with the movie. I want to see that. That sounds really hype. Hawks is an awesome character. Okay, people, next up, just a little bit of a tidbit for Mashle fans. It says here, Mashle will be holding its first, I thought it already had one, first character popularity poll to commemorate the series' second anniversary in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 8. I'm voting Mash. Like, it is what it is. Maybe Dumbledore might get a vote too or something, but I'm voting Mash. And I wonder, is it going to be worldwide? So far, it just looks like they're trying to gather like Japan's insight only. But yeah, Mashle holding his first character popularity poll, and it doesn't say worldwide, which is a real big shame because there's plenty of Mashle fans outside of Japan. I love me some Mashle. As a matter of fact, I need to get back to reading Mashle. I let like the chapters build up. I'm probably like 15-20 chapters behind now at this point. I should go back and rectify that because Mashle kicks major ass. And yeah, first character popularity. I'm still first character. I could have sworn there was a character popularity poll. Either way, yeah, Mashle character popularity poll. Let's go. Okay, people, next up, y'all know I like to throw in a little bit of comic book news, especially in this new spicy season of Forever News Season 2. And I wanted to talk about the reveal because in case you don't know, there's a new Batman movie coming out. It got Robert Pattinson as Batman, and it just kind of looks really dope. There was the reveal of, I want to say it was the Riddler, and there was a lot of controversy about his design and what he was going to look like in the film. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a different take, and it's not the classic Riddler by any means. And the dude looks like, for the most part, like he would, I don't know, be like hijacking and kidnapping somebody out of a Walmart parking lot or whatever. But it felt like it worked because this Batman looks like it's about to be really freaking dark. And then now they revealed Batgirl and what she's going to look like for this, and it was the actress behind it, Leslie Grace, that said, "I used their expectations against them. That will be their weakness, not mine. Let them all underestimate me, and when their guard is down and their pride is rising, let me kick their butts." Batgirl Year 1, and she looks great. And I looked at the inspiration, and she looks like a freaking straight up out of the comic book character. I don't know, she just looks awesome to me, and I'm hype about this, man. It's been a minute since we've had, how many years has it been since we had like the Batman films? The Christian Bale stuff was the last big thing, right? That trilogy, and then since then we had them in like Justice League and stuff like that, but it never really was, yeah. Even though what's his name actually did a pretty decent job. I say what's his name when he's a freaking star, but his name doesn't come to my mind right now. Adam, put him right here, okay? Yeah, this new Batman, it looks like it's going to be dope. We got Batgirl here, and again, she just looks straight out the comics, and I'm very excited about this. I hope they do a good job. I hope it's not gonna drop the ball, because at first, when I first heard Robert Pattinson, I just immediately, like everybody else, think Twilight, and I'm like, Twilight vampire guy is the new Batman? But the trailers tell a different story, and the trailers look really hype. So hopefully this film, fingers crossed, is going to be awesome, because yeah, Batgirl looks dope, Batman looks pretty cool, it looks darker, Riddler is a creep ass motherfucker like he's never been. Well, he might have been in the comics, I don't know, but yeah, new Batman film, I can't wait for it. Okay people, and last story of the episode, we got the top 10 selling manga series of the week. So this is all of the backlog, all of that good stuff. Number 10, Blue Lock with 80,000. Number 9, Spy Family, 81. Blue Box, it's always funny to see them back and forth. Blue Lock, Blue Box. Number 8, Blue Box, 84,000. Number 7, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, 91,000. And then at the top, pretty much everything is back to back Shonen Jump stuff. Wow. My Hero at number 6 with 95,000. Black Clover 108 at number 5. Shout outs to Black Clover, baby. Hey, top 5. Even though we're losing to a series that hasn't dropped the volume in 100 million years, Kimetsu no Yaiba, because that got 162. Although it do have a very hype and thriving anime on TV, so we gotta be, you know, we gotta be real about things, okay? Then we got Dr. Stone at number 3 with 177, and then Tokyo Revengers still making waves, 376,000 at number 2, and number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen, 954,000. That movie is doing tremendous for those manga sales, and yeah, pretty freaking awesome top 10. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still excited always to see Black Clover on there. You know, 6 figures is never a disappointment in my book, and shout outs to Yuki Tabata, and shout outs to everybody on that list for that matter. Like Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is selling them volumes. Shonen Jump is getting a mass amount of hate right now over on Twitter because of a tweet that they posted, and the fan backlash right now is insane, because y'all know manga and anime fans, when we get upset about something, when we feel like something is coming that is not and particularly wanted to the community, motherfuckers go back crazy, you know what I'm saying? So let's read the tweet to start things off to see, well, what is it that Shonen Jump said? Did they say something outlandish, or are they saying things that'll get them canceled? Like, what is the insane thing that Shonen Jump said? They said, soon you'll be able to show your Shonen Jump love in a whole new way. Exciting announcement tomorrow. And with that, they put a picture of Luffy with Momonosuke in his dragon form wrapped around his neck, and says, got it. And yeah, when I first caught it, I saw, like, you know, it had a couple of quote tweets or whatever. As of the recording of this right now, it has like thousands of quote tweets and replies and everything of people going crazy, because with this big announcement, a lot of people are suspecting that Shonen Jump is about to do something that people really aren't that fond of. And I didn't realize that there was a whole other side of people that absolutely hate and despise the whole trend of NFTs. In case you're unfamiliar with NFTs, essentially it stands for non-fungible token, but that still really isn't going to tell you anything, because it didn't tell me anything. I'm like, non-fungible token, so like, are they token? Like, what are you talking about? And the best way that I describe it is essentially, okay, think how money, right? Money only has value because essentially certain governments tell you, hey, this has value, and you can trade it for services and goods because of the way the law of the land, so to speak. So with NFTs, essentially, like, just imagine, again, this Shenron statue that I'm not going to move, because as I said in the opening of this video, it continues to fall apart on me. Just imagine a picture of that Shenron figure, right? Somebody takes that picture, catalogs it in a computer somewhere in the world or whatnot, and makes it that that image is a one of one, so to speak, despite the fact that you can screenshot that image and share it all day. Technically, that particular image is indeed owned to a person. So I see it more as like monetizing imagery industry in a way that, depending on how far this goes, depending on what the backlash and whatnot turns into, ultimately it could essentially make and monetize imagery. Like, that's one of the big things that they're trying to push with this, and people are not having it. People are annoyed by it. There's a lot of gaming companies that are recently trying to incorporate NFTs into their motto. There's just so many different things happening with NFTs right now. I'll be honest with you, I'm not mad at it per se, as long as it doesn't start to interfere in certain things. Like, I don't want to be watching an anime and all of a sudden they just start talking to me about NFTs and shit like that. Like, no. But in terms of, like, from a business standpoint, there's some fun and creative things that can be done that can be using the idea of NFTs. Because, again, the thought of being able to own, let's just say, like, I actually own this digital image of Luffy with Momo around his neck. I don't know. A part of me feels like that's kind of dope, but at the same time, again, because somebody can screenshot it, is like, where's the value in that? So that's where I guess the conflict goes back and forth. Obviously, as you can see, I'm kind of down the middle with it. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm not like, yeah, the NFTs. I just try to see, like, okay, if that is going to be indeed the future with this NFT situation, then what could be the benefits from a creative's standpoint, such as myself? And I could think of quite a few different ideas, especially if you can actually make money from it for artists and whatnot. That'd be kind of dope. But then there's also, of course, the whole thing that a lot of people are saying, that this whole NFT situation is really just being used as a front to money launder, but that's a whole other situation. And either way, just reading a few of them, it says, if it's about NFTs, then Shonen Jump is switching from killing their artists to killing the environment. This better not be some damn NFTs. Gonna become the king of the pirates if it's NFTs, meaning that they're gonna cancel their subscription. Say it. We all know what you want to say. Say the line, as all these Simpson characters are staring. Another person said, wonder what I'll do with that extra $2 a month, because a lot of people are pretty much threatening, if y'all start introducing NFTs and doing all of this, we're walking out. Which, I'll be honest with you, I saw that they did something similar, NFT project with Fist of the North Star, and again, I don't know, I like the idea, but only if it's in practice and it continues and it just doesn't die out somewhere. Because let's just say I own this image of, again, you know, Shenron right there, whatnot, and it's, you know, cataloged that I own it in a computer somewhere, whatnot. But if nobody cares and NFTs just dies out or whatnot, even if you spent $4,000 on that picture of Shenron, it doesn't mean anything and it doesn't have value. And that is going to be the inevitable future for a lot of NFTs. They aren't going to mean squat. So we got to wait and see. But again, the reaction and the backlash to it is quite the humorous thing, if I do say so myself. Shonen Jump hopefully isn't going to announce NFTs, but I will keep you guys updated on the story to see what comes from it. Okay, adding a quick update to the story. As of the recording of this video right now, Shonen Jump has actually debunked the scary thought that a lot of fans were outraged over and sending backlash towards Shonen Jump, because Shonen Jump just tweeted out, it's not NFTs, with a smiley face. So for fans that were outraged over this, for all the backlash that was sent to Shonen Jump, rest assured, in case you missed it, they updated, it is indeed not about NFTs. So whatever their announcement is, it probably will be something up your alley. Well, we gotta wait and see. Either way, dodge the bullet, fam, when it comes to the announcement. Although, again, I was kind of like in the middle, like, whatever, if it's NFTs, fine, but it you know, it is what it is. But yeah, Shonen Jump, new announcement, not NFTs. Okay, people, next up, a lot of people wanted me to cover this. This was announced a couple days ago that apparently Among Us is getting, ready for this? A manga! It says here, video game Among Us will get a manga adaptation in Besatsu Koro Koro issue number 4 next February 2022. And this will be a one-shot, not a series. The Among Us manga adaptation will be a one-shot, published in Besatsu Kokoro issue 4, out February 28th. So they wanted to be clear that it's just going to be like a one shot. It might be like, you know, a 40-page manga. It's not going to be a continuous thing or whatnot. I never got into Among Us, to be honest with you. And in fact, like, at the very least, I know with all my kiddos, they're not really into Among Us anymore. So it's interesting to see this come to light now. Maybe if it was like early last year, mid last year, I would have been like, oh, that's going to be pretty big. But I'm not sure how big Among Us is at this particular point. I just kind of see it like die down a lot. It's not really, well, again, maybe with my kiddos, maybe out there it's still huge with all sorts of communities, because that's usually an ignorant viewpoint to look out of, like, hey, well, in my world I'm not seeing it, so it must not be. Like, I've made that mistake a couple different times. Like, I remember when I said, yeah, Xenoverse is dead, why are they still adding DLC? And the Dragon Ball Xenoverse community tore my ass up. So you never know. But ultimately, yeah, they're doing an Among Us manga. I don't see myself checking this out, but hey, if there's some Among Us fans out there that you want to read a manga about, you know, what is it that they do, the hide and seek or some shit like that? Again, I'm very, very uninformed about Among Us. I just know it's a mobile game. My kiddos used to play it. They don't play it no more. And now they're doing a one-shot manga. Why not? Although it would have been even more funnier if it was actually going to Besatsu Shonen magazine as like, hey, we're gonna pad Attack on Titan left the magazine, but yo, we got Among Us in here now. That would have been funny, but it's in Besatsu Koro, which it's not the same magazine, so yeah. Okay, people, next up we got the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. And I'm not gonna lie, because I did spoil myself and I saw what the top 10 was looking like. And there's a series in particular, and I'm gonna give you guys actual factual stats so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. That it does feel like not even just that series in general, but a few series, and it might be due to the times, it might be due to a variety of different reasonings, but I'm starting to notice like a decline in quite a few different series, minus the top dogs that are exploding right now. But we'll talk about it when we get there, because we got to start off with from 50 to 41. We got World End Harem Fantasia with 21,000. Berserk still in the top 50. It slid down a lot. That's a big shame. I thought that it would have rocked in the top 20 for a while or something like that, but doing 21,000, bringing his total to 160,000. Kaguya-sama Lover's War, Spy X Family, 22,000. Darwin's Game, that's still running dope. Mission Yozakura Family, Volume 11 in 6 days. That's not the greatest debut, I'll be honest with you. Debuting at number 42 at 27,000 in 6 days. Then we got places 40 through 31. Kaiju no Ube Volume 5 still standing in the top 50 with 30,000 more this week, bringing his total to 655,000. One Piece 101 with 32,000 this week, still hanging in there, 1.6 mil. A whole bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen from 36 to 32 is Jujutsu Kaisen volumes, and expect to see a whole bunch of them in here for, at the very least, the next couple months while Jujutsu Kaisen 0 runs in theaters, because it's just that damn big. And then at number 31, New Prince of Tennis Volume 35 in 6 days, 33,000, which Prince of Tennis has been going on for ages, man. It's still doing thing. Then volumes 30 through 21, again, more Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not sure what the heck. Kawaii Dakejai Nai Shikimori-san, I have no idea what that is. Shumatsu no Valkyrie, aka Record of Ragnarok, 35,000, still standing in there after what has been 21 days. Okay. Sakamoto Days Volume 5, 6 days, 36,000. I want to see Sakamoto Days to the moon, man. I'm catching up with Sakamoto Days, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, I've been talking about it here and there. I'm just having so much fun with Sakamoto Days. It gives me a little bit of a vibe of like Gintama in a way, like the trio that do these weird, not necessarily odd jobs, because it's mainly just trying to save Sakamoto's life. And I'm getting too into a review here. Just Sakamoto Days is awesome. I gotta talk about it sometime in a big video. Shout outs to everybody there, and drop a like for Sakamoto Days, baby, okay? And then 25 through 21, again, more Jujutsu Kaisen. As I said, par for the course, that movie is doing some numbers over there in Japan. Then 20 through 11, more Jujutsu Kaisen at 20 and 19. World End Harem Volume 14 in 6 days, 41,000. A lot of people have been telling me that I should check out World End Harem, the anime, so I might. I've heard some interesting things about it, and there's like 2 episodes, so maybe later tonight I'll pop on some World End Harem. If you know, you know. We got Ayakashi Triangle Volume 7 in 6 days, 42,000. That's not bad at all. Jujutsu Kaisen, again, god damn. The Elusive Samurai Volume 4, 50,000 in 6 days. Not bad, not bad. I thought Elusive Samurai was going to start doing more like into the 80s and whatnot, because it was starting to boost up. But again, this is another victim of what I've been noticing recently, where a lot of the bigger series, as it's been going, are starting to dip a bit in sales when they were initially in an upward trajectory. So it's kind of interesting to note. Then we got Kimetsu Gakuen, which is a spin-off gag series about Demon Slayer. Is one of the few that are still running right now. So technically this is like Demon Slayer's only manga that is going, and of course there's a cash cow. And in 6 days, this little gag spin-off, 53,000 copies. That is astronomical for a gag spin-off in, what is it, in Psycho Jump magazine. That's big. That's big. Then top 10. Number 10, Tokyo Revengers Volume 25, still standing strong after 24 days in top 10 with 57,000, bringing his total to 869. It will not leave the top 50 without hitting that million, I can assure you. Number 9, whoa, that's shocking to see. Kinukuman, aka Ultimate Muscle, with 59,000 copies. When did they drop an Ultimate Muscle volume? That's insane. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in there, 56,000. Again, people are gonna run out and get that book, man. That movie, it's doing numbers. I keep saying it. Number 6, Blue Box Volume 3, 73,000 6 days. Pretty freaking good. I keep hearing great things about it. Then Number 5, in 6 days, the latest Boruto offering, volume 16, 73,408, and that's not necessarily great for Boruto per se, if I'm being honest. It's like, it's alright, it's good. I'd imagine it's like probably close to what the last one, but I'd feel, and I'd have to check because I don't have the numbers for this Boruto volume in particular, so I'm not going to cement it and say 100% this is what it is, but it feels like a dip from the previous one, and I really like that cover. I don't care. Then moving on, place 4, Jujutsu Kaisen yet again with volume 17, 81,000, and then top 3. And this one right here, y'all know I'm a very big fan of it, so I always like to give a little bit of an extensive coverage to it. Black Clover Volume 31, 94,000 in 6 days. Now, those numbers aren't bad per se, but I did a little comparison. I dug up what the last volume did in 7 days. It had a full 7 days. The last volume with Gaja on the cover of Volume 30 did 113,418. And color me crazy, but I don't see that if Black Clover had that extra day, it would have did another 20k. I just don't see that, especially considering it had all those days. It probably wasn't going to do an extra 20k to match up or even surpass what Volume 30 did. So definitely a decline for Black Clover. It's a shame. That cover looks awesome. Black Clover has been hitting, especially the last few chapters been insane. But yeah, Black Clover, it seems like it's in a downward trajectory, and it sucks, man. It really sucks to say, but like I've been looking at some of the yearly numbers as well, and it's kind of been staying for the most part in like the same type of position. Maybe you could argue like a slight, very, very small dip, but for the most part, it's been maintaining yearly, so that's a good thing. But in terms of comparing what this did like to the last one, I mean, you could argue, hey, that was October. October's a big month where a lot of people go shopping, Christmas gifts and whatnot, so maybe that's why it did better, but we gotta wait and see. Depending on what Volume 32 does, then we will know for sure where it's at. Then number 2, Dr. Stone, 131,000. Shout outs to Dr. Stone. And number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen, back up at number 1 with 255,000, bringing his total to 1.4 mil, the latest volume. Yeah, that was the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Some interesting numbers there. Hopefully things pick up, because even the weekly Shonen Jump unofficial account has been saying that some of these numbers definitely feel stagnant from the last one, and they said that with the last releases as well, so yeah. Next up, something I just wanted to briefly touch up on. It says here, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Hirohiko Araki on the cover of the upcoming Spur magazine, issue 3, and the art, oh my god, it got Jolene Cujo. She's wearing a shirt that says new, and it's kind of like, what is that? Is that see-through? Oh shit, it's a see-through. You see like she got a tank top under, then she got this dress. Like, yo, Hirohiko Araki, on his off time when he's not doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, why doesn't he work for like Gucci? He should be like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga. All of these big companies should have Hirohiko Araki designing their clothing, because like, look at that. She straight up looks like a model, and she's a JoJo's character that kicks major freaking tail. Shout outs to Jolene Cujo. This magazine, I wouldn't mind having it just to have that cover. I would frame this shit. That's how awesome this looks like. Hirohiko Araki, a beast at clothing design. Holy shit. And again, did I say, I hope I didn't forget to mention Jolene Cujo for the win, baby. Look at her. That's my gal. Yeah. Next up, let's talk quickly about some fingers. So this was something that I found interesting. I wanted to kind of joke around with you guys and show you guys. It says here on Yahoo Japan, there was a product that somebody recently had screenshotted, and I saw it, and it was of some earphones of Sukuna's fingers. So essentially, it's like these earbuds that you stick in your ears, and hanging out the side of your ears would be these giant Sukuna fingers. And I'd imagine the audio is probably garbage, because that's usually when they do things like this, they just take a shitty pair of earphones and then just add whatever aesthetic to sell it off as like a product. I ain't gonna lie, I when it comes to my shit, I don't care. You hate it or love it or whatever, I'm gonna do what I think is dope, and I'd find that hilarious to go to the gym and just be like, yo, I got my Sukunas on, dog. But I'd imagine the audio probably terrible, so it'd be like a waste. But I'd probably buy them literally just to have them in the box of like, yo, look at these. It might go up in value someday, who knows, because it's so freaking weird. But yeah, audio quality is probably terrible, so it's like, buy it if you just want like something cool and you want to just freak people out from time to time, because yeah, it could also double as it looks something weird else, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Either way, Sukuna's fingers, if you want them, they're out there. It says what, File Web? I'm not sure if that's the site where they're selling it, or the vendor or whatever, but it's just bizarre. But I don't know, fascinating at the same time. Like, I kind of want them. Like, imagine somebody just staring at you like, yo, dog, you got fingers crawling out of your ears. What's going on? Shout outs to Jujutsu Kaisen, Sukuna's fingers. Yeah, definitely not the gourmet meal you were looking for. Okay, next up, so I believe this already took place in the Demon Slayer anime, but according to this, it says that Kakashi's voice actor will join the Demon Slayer cast for one of the latest episodes. It says here, Kazuhiko Inoue, who is known for voicing Kakashi, Cars, and Gilliard, will voice an unknown swordsman in the Demon Slayer anime. And I want to say that was like either last episode or the episode before that, and that is so dope. I love that shit. I ain't gonna lie, like I've been doing this for so long, talking about anime, reviewing anime and stuff like that, that like if I hear Jiraiya's voice actor, I immediately, it doesn't matter what character, what anime or whatever, oh my god, that's him, I know immediately. Like the certain voice actors that I could spot them from a mile away. I don't know if I'd be able to spot Kakashi, because to be honest with you, if they didn't point this out, I wouldn't have known, like, oh shit, that's Kakashi. So kudos to the talent, and I guess also is to my inability, because at the end of the day, I'm not, a native Japanese speaker, so I'm not gonna immediately catch up on it. But yeah, Kakashi's voice actor in the Demon Slayer anime, why not? And it's playing this unknown swordsman that, yeah, pretty interesting guy. And while we're on the topic of Demon Slayer, they just released a new key visual for the Demon Slayer anime. It says here, Uzui and Tanjiro use all their strength in this new Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc key visual, as the fight between Uzui, Tanjiro, and the gang and the upper rank 6 demons Daki and Gyutaro continue in the newest episodes of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba's Entertainment District arc, with a new key visual for the arc being released today, drawn by anime studio Ufotable, alongside a trailer promoting the art and the reveal of who is voicing upper rank 6 Gyutaro. And I'm not even gonna lie, this art looks so freaking sick. Uzui, you got Tanjiro, and then you got the 2 demons, and yo, this right here should be a DVD cover, Blu-ray cover, or whatever. It just looks amazing, incredible. And this arc has been incredible. It just really freaking sucks. Every time I say it, I don't care, I'm gonna repeat myself again. They wasted so much valuable time and assets on that freaking Mugen Train readaptation that we did not need. We had the Mugen Train in the theaters, and I would have loved more of this banging ass season of Demon Slayer. It's so freaking good. Like, oh yeah, new visual, and Kakashi's voice actor will be voicing, or has already voiced, the unknown swordsman in Demon Slayer. Okay, people, and last story of the episode, and I gotta admit, I was wrong on something. I was wrong because initially, I want to say it was like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago here on Forever News, I reported that a new My Hero Academia game was coming out, and it is coming out, and it is called Ultra Rumble. That's all true, and the aesthetics still seem like they're reused assets from One's Justice. So all of that, I was correct. I was incorrect of saying that, oh, it looks like the typical is another battle royale game, who cares, because I actually finally got to see, they released like 20 minutes of gameplay of somebody playing the game, and it's very interesting that they're going in a different direction. Now, mind you, the gameplay itself doesn't look great, and again, they're reusing assets or whatever, so those are 2 strikes against it, but it looks fun. Like, it's not a battle royale classic type of game. It kind of gives you a vibe of, to a certain degree, like Fortnite free roamish. You gotta see it to believe it, to even understand what I'm talking about. But it looks like it's not the greatest game, but you get a couple of pals and you hop on this thing, and because it's free to play, this could be huge. Like, you already know there's a major crossover between anime fans and like gamers and whatnot. A whole bunch of kids that maybe they love Fortnite, but they're a little bit tired of it, they see this game that kind of resembles Fortnite in a lot of ways. Like, I saw like the portal that, like, when you gotta be in there, if not you get timed out or whatever, in the zone. I said portal, the zones or whatever. Like, it kind of looked like that, and at the same time, like, everybody's just like, I don't know, it just looks really fun. I think I would actually have a pretty decent time playing this game. So I was wrong in saying, oh, it's another shitty game. Like, the gameplay doesn't look great, but it just looks like a fun experience and something different. Like, I'm glad, and even though I shitted on the Breakers as well, I want to be clear, like, they don't look like great games, they look like fun games, and I'm all for, like, you don't gotta look the greatest, you don't have to have the best graphics, the gameplay doesn't have to be the most awesome for me, because I'm not a hardcore gamer. I just want to have fun. Like, I remember when I was younger, that was one of the big things about video games, is just, I want to have fun, and that looks, like, Breakers looks like fun, it just doesn't look like a great game. This looks like fun, doesn't look like a great game, but this is free to play, baby. You know I'm gonna hop on that one and have a decent time at the very least. Hopefully they fix some of the mechanics though, because again, the gameplay doesn't look the greatest, and I would like a little bit of a couple tweaks there. But either way, I'm actually more on board with this game than I thought I would be. It's free to play, it looks fun, it's something different. I'm excited, and I think it also has a little bit of an extended character roster, so that's gonna be nice too. I know a lot of people watching this right here are going to be very, I want to say maybe up in arms about, or just in general at the very least, is going to get you out of your chair and a little bit intrigued, because I can safely say that majority of people here do not like censorship. They don't want censored stuff. They don't want the content that they're reading, watching, all of that good stuff to be censored. However, there's been a bit of an uproar, and a lot of people have been telling me to talk about it, so here we're going to get into it, regarding a certain manga that has recently been straight up censored to the point of being skipped over being published in English over here in North America, in the West, and I'm not sure in every other location, but I do know for a fact that over here in the West, they have straight up skipped over now 2 chapters of this manga, and a lot of people are very upset and saying, yo, we're really going down the censorship road. Yeah, in case you ain't hear about it, a manga called Ayakashi Triangle is from one of the creators of To Love Ru, massive fan service series. And honestly, when I heard about Ayakashi Triangle and just seen a few images and, you know, checked out a chapter or two, I was like, oh, okay, so more fan service, gotcha. And I'm pretty sure that the people that licensed Ayakashi Triangle for, you know, release over here in the West probably had somewhat of an idea that, oh, okay, it's an ecchi story, it's, you know, a lot of fan service and all that jazz. So to be fair, the people that, you know, when they came in, I'm sure they knew for the most part what they were getting themselves into in terms of fan service. There's going to be a lot of all sorts of, you know, slight nudity and stuff like that. Probably, you know, depending on where you're going to release it, you're going to have extra eyes on releasing this manga. But based on the contents of chapters 74 and 75, they have straight up omitted releasing these chapters over here in the West. It started off with 74 alone. The unofficial Weekly Shonen Jump account had posted, it seemed Manga Plus has skipped Ayakashi Triangle's chapter 74 publication in both English and Spanish due to its heavy NSFW content. The series should resume as scheduled on January 16th. So January 16th came and went, and when you go to the Manga Plus app and you click on it to, you know, read the next chapter, okay, they skipped over a chapter and whatnot, they said that they're not publishing chapter 75 either, so they're straight up omitting 2 chapters of the manga. Now I want to say this, I remember when it came to Chainsaw Man, there was a certain type of situation that was somewhat similar to this with a couple of chapters. In particular, I remember one for sure, there might have been another instance of it, where they straight up couldn't publish the chapter in the app, the Shonen Jump app, but they published it on the Viz Media website, and it was because it was massive nudity and fan service in it. So I was like, it's understandable to a certain degree, but I mean, come on, you know, it's like some devils doing some wild shit at the end of the day. But, you know, whatever, you know, you got, at the very least, you're putting it that it's available over there on the website. However, again, with this Ayakashi Triangle situation, there's just no release for it. I gotta say this, because I did take a look at a couple of panels from, I forget if it was 74 or 75, but I will say that some of it does feel a little suspect, and I could imagine that the partners behind the people that, you know, published this or whatnot, the people that got the rights to release it in the West, probably were looking at it like, this is the type of stuff that could get us canceled or get us in some serious trouble if it got to mainstream media, because the content itself is just really explicit, showcasing explicit scenes with a character that looks not just the regular, like, you know what I'm saying, Sakura Haruno and Shippuden, Lucy Heartfilia, not that type, way younger than that, like Promised Neverland type of age in situations that they shouldn't be. So morally, I'm not even gonna lie, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I kind of understand it. And again, maybe this is a different type of mindset because I'm a lot more older and I'm mature to situations that I could kind of understand. Yeah, you probably don't want to publish that because it comes across as beyond just lewd. Again, characters that are modeled to kind of look like older characters or whatnot, there's a little bit of a grayer area. It's like, come on, dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, they drawing them that way, even though still there's a certain side eye that you're gonna give if people are like, yo, the 12-year-old that look, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. But then there's this situation where I'm kind of like not necessarily agreeing with censorship, because hey, how about you just omit those pages, or at the very least censor those pages maybe in one section, and fans can go and click on a link that'll take them to an uncensored thing if they really need to see it or whatnot, kind of finding some sort of weird happy medium, I guess, right? But no, they're straight up omitting chapters, entire chapters, where some fans are even saying like, yo, there's content aside from the terribly bad things that they're showcasing that actually has some substance to the story and character development. So fans are upset about it. Again, I'm not a fan of it, so it's kind of hard for me to even come in and say like, yo, like I don't have a fan bias. And honestly, from what I did see, I was not a fan of like, yeah, so that's where we're at with the situation right now. Some fans are very upset about the censorship, and they're pretty much just skipping over 2 chapters entirely. Like I said, I think if you did need to censor it because of the nature of the content itself and the fact that you got it standing next to a whole bunch of other different juggernauts that could jeopardize your IPs or whatnot, probably have it on a whole separate thing. If you can't even put it on, let's just say like Viz would put it on their website or whatnot, put it just somewhere else, maybe even have the initial one censored, and then if they click links, they could maybe get it uncensored or something. Like, that's the best happy medium I could get, because I understand that people don't like censorship, but also you got to look at it from the business side of things. And are people really going to jeopardize, hey, you know, let's publish this, and it might jeopardize the fact that, you know, the rights keepers to this series and that series might say, oh no, it's getting a bad rep, you putting our stuff next to that, we got to pull our titles away from you. Then that could really create a mess, and we don't want that either, because again, mainstream media has gotten involved when it comes to things like this. Like, things like that can actually make it to mainstream and can get things canceled, and a whole bunch of things can happen, which I guess is also a byproduct of what some people were saying of like, hey, anime's become mainstream now, manga's become mainstream now, these are some of the consequences. So yeah, very, very delicate situation. A lot of people are upset, and I'll keep you guys in the loop if they decide to skip any more chapters. But as it stands right now, they straight up omitted 2 chapters in a row for Ayakashi Triangle. Okay, people, next up for Bleach fans, we got a little bit of news here regarding the fan club that Tite Kubo has created. A lot of people thought that, okay, it was maybe going to be a limited run, or it was really unsure exactly what was going to happen with this. I'd imagine because of the level of success that it was going to continue going anyway. But according to this, it says Tite Kubo's official fan club, Club Outside, will continue in 2022, the main visual for the first time in 2010. Recruitment of new members will start on January 18th. We will deliver a lot of content such as original comics, information of animation Bleach broadcast this year, limited goods, and so on. And with it came this poster, this really awesome image that was designed, if I'm not mistaken, this picture of Ichigo himself was designed by Tite Kubo, drawn by Tite Kubo, and yeah, it looks really dope. And again, they're just continuing on the excitement. I'm not gonna lie, I wish they had this over here, like, and translated this over here into English for this Club Outside event, because I mean, there's people that actually are subscribed to this, and you know, more power to them and whatnot. But I would love to be able to get insight on, you know, what Tite Kubo has to say, and kind of just have it all, whether it be on an app or a website. I think a lot of these Japanese mangaka really, if they just looked into it and they just thought like, oh snap, like I could actually in other markets outside of Japan really make some money, make some moves. Like if Tite Kubo had his own official website in the West, you telling me there wouldn't be a shit ton of people that would pay, you know, $4.99, let's just say, over here just to have like, hey, a translated version of his Club Outside and these official releases. And if, let's just say, some of the licensors want to be broken off a piece or whatnot, he can, you know, deal with them there. But ultimately, this is really dope. And there's, again, official merch that he has that you can only get from being a part of that Club Outside, official art from Bleach, updates on the anime, things Tite Kubo has to say. And yeah, this is going to be a big year for Bleach, and this Club Outside is continuing on. I'd imagine the closer we get to the Bleach anime returning, and when the Bleach anime returns, Tite Kubo's Club Outside is probably going to skyrocket in memberships and people signing up and just wanting to be a part of all of this, because this is the year for Bleach. But yeah, people, Tite Kubo's Club Outside event will continue on into 2022. And again, this really awesome image of Ichigo. You can tell that Tite Kubo was having fun doing like digital colored art now. Like, I think we'll probably see more of it moving forward, because now he's starting to get a hang of it and just kind of seems like he's having fun with it. Okay, people, next up, we had reported on this story as we've been following it a few episodes ago on FORNEVERNEWS, but it continues to get massive and, dare I say, pun intended, colossal with what is happening of the level of success thanks to Attack on Titan's final season part 2. The opening, the rumbling by Sim is exploding even more so than we could have imagined. I think we had just said that it was like 4 days and it hit like 10 or 11 million views. Well, according to this, Pony Canyon had thanked everybody because in 9 days, the Attack on Titan final season part 2 opening got 20 million views on YouTube, and probably, I don't know, maybe like 20,000, 40,000 of those is straight up from me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I just tweeted out again on Twitter the other day of, yo dog, I need like the full version of this. And I want to say they actually just announced that the band, they're filming the music video for the song, so maybe we'll get the full version of it within the next couple weeks or a month or something like that. But yeah, it did 20 million views on YouTube, and it's interesting because I thought, honestly, when it came out that a lot of people were going to just all be on the same boat, and there are a lot of people that are on the same boat, but I thought like it was going to be a unanimous thing in terms of, yo, this is the opening, dog, this shit is incredible. But there's a lot of people, because of the heavy metal elements, the screaming and stuff like that, that don't particularly care for the opening. Some are downright saying and disrespecting that it is terrible, and to those people I say, I respect your opinion, but I strongly disagree. Because yeah, some of the heavy metal scenes, maybe it's a little bit off-putting, but my god, when it gets down to just straight up singing, it's amazing. If I lose it all, slip and fall. Oh, don't get FNF started on that singing though. Y'all know what I'm about to do if I get into that singing bag. But yeah, people, the rumbling 20 million views in 9 days for the opening, that is very freaking huge, okay? And Attack on Titan, it's going out with a bang. It just continues to keep on hitting milestone after milestone. We'll see where everything is all said and done when the season ends, because a lot of people are theorizing all sorts of crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Attack on Titan, 20 million, the rumbling, 9 days. Awesome. Okay, people, next up, World Trigger fans. A lot of y'all were really appreciative of me covering some of the events of what's going down with World Trigger. Well, something really big and unfortunate recently happened with World Trigger, and of course, it was out of control of, you know, the people behind World Trigger and all that jazz. Because according to this, it says, World Trigger Season 3's finale was rescheduled to next weekend after delay due to the tsunami alert. The official Twitter account for the World Trigger anime announced on Sunday evening that the 14th and final episode of the 3rd season will now air on Saturday, January 22nd at 25:30, which would be what, like 3:30, effectively Sunday, January 23rd at 1:30 a.m. or Saturday, January 22nd at 11:30 a.m. EST. The episode was to have aired on Sunday at 1:30 a.m. on TV Asahi and its affiliates, but the station preempted their programming due to special news bulletins. The anime's Twitter account confirmed the delay 23 minutes later. TV Asahi's Numa Animation programming block had already scheduled the Salaryman's Club anime to premiere in World Trigger's 3rd season time slot next week. However, the Salaryman's Club anime website announced on Sunday that the anime's premiere has been delayed to Saturday, January 29th at 25:30, effectively Sunday, January 30th at 1:30 a.m. An underwater volcano in the South Pacific island nation of Tonga erupted on Saturday at about 5 p.m. and the Japan Meteorological Agency issued a tsunami warning for Amami Islands and the Tokata Islands in the southwestern prefecture of Kagoshima. The agency then issued an advisory for almost all of Japan's east coast and specifically warned of waves as high as 3 meters in the northeastern prefecture of Iwate. Amame Aoshima Island reported a 1.2 meter wave at 11:55 p.m. on Saturday evening. And yeah, really bad stuff. Obviously, they made the right call because, yo, people shouldn't be worried about World Trigger when very horrible things like that is approaching or could potentially, you know, leave some massive damage. Obviously, Japan has been hit and rocked with some tsunamis in the past, so yeah, they definitely made the right call. And at the very least now, you know, fans will still be able to watch the World Trigger episode in another few days. But yeah, for the people that were wondering like, oh man, you know, they stopped World Trigger, what's happening, are they going to air the final episode? It will be coming out on the 22nd, so you can look forward to that. But yeah, people, World Trigger delay due to the tsunami warnings, and you'll still be able to watch it on the 22nd. Okay, people, next up, I just quickly wanted to cover this story because I found it hilarious. I've been holding on to it for a little bit now, waiting for the right time. Like, where's a good episode where I could just kind of let off a good laugh? Because according to this, it says, Los Angeles police officers fired for playing Pokemon Go during robbery in progress. LA Police Department officers Luis Lozano and Eric Mitchell were fired for playing Pokemon Go instead of responding to a call regarding a robbery in progress on April 2017. Whoa, this is an old one. Why are they bringing this up now? now. This incident came to public attention when the former officers submitted a petition to the California Courts of Appeal. The court denied their appeal as reported in an official court document filed last Friday. So this is many years later that they filed an appeal. According to the document, the former officers were working as partners on a footbeat patrol on April 15, 2017. When the patrol supervisor heard a call for a robbery in progress at Crenshaw Mall, he attempted to radio Lozano and Mitchell's unit for backup, but received no response. Upon questioning, the officers lied that they had not heard the call. A digital in-call video system recording revealed that not only had the unit received the call, it had been situated only a short distance from the scene of the crime. The officers extensively discussed Pokemon Go during the beat, with Lozano declaring at one point that he was trying to catch a Snorlax. On the way to the Snorlax location, Mitchell said that a Togetic popped up and the two agreed to hunt the Togetic together. So yeah, people, again, I don't know, wow, did the appeal take this long? Like, did it take 5 years for them to come back with it, or did they just recently say, hey, you know, I want to get back on the force, let me appeal some shit that happened in 2017? Because that's just really bizarre that some officers that were fired 5 years ago just was like, yo, we're appealing this shit now. And yo, that is freaking insane, dog. Like, you let a robbery go down because you're trying to catch a Snorlax and a Togetic in Pokemon Go. I mean, 2017 sounds about the time, more or less, that people were still very heavy into Pokemon Go. Like, I know a few people that still play it, but it's not nowhere close to as big as it was back in, like, 2016 and 2017. But goddamn, dog, you slacked off on the job as an officer to go... Well, who knows what'll happen, but goddamn, that Snorlax better have been worth it, I guess, huh? Imagine they didn't catch either of them. Oh my god. Okay, people, next up, a couple of pieces of Undead Unluck news. For starters, Undead Unluck's second popularity poll is now up, so you can vote for the characters that you like and all of that good stuff, which I think it's about time a few different series, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mashle just announced its first one, and now Undead Unluck announced its second one. And also, Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tezuka will get a novel and a complete full-color release digitally in Japan, which is very, very interesting. I'm just wondering, like, when are they going to get an anime announcement? Imagine they pulled a Siren. In case you've never heard of Siren, it was a really popular manga. A lot of people knew about it over there in Japan. It was in Shonen Jump, and it lasted 130 chapters, something crazy, and never got an anime. And to this day, people are like, why? Well, I did see what the sales looked like, and the sales didn't look all that impressive, to be honest with you. But either way, I hope Undead Unluck doesn't go that way, which I don't think they are, because if they're doing popularity polls and all of that jazz, like, yeah, that's probably just my anxiety speaking of, like, it's not gonna happen, it didn't happen at Jump Festa. But yeah, they had big guns at Jump Festa, as I've said many times, and that's probably why the news for Undead Unluck and Mashle and a few others wasn't all that impressive, because probably saving it to give its own, you know, separate big announcement that isn't clouded by, oh, Bleach, oh, Chainsaw Man. But yeah, Undead Unluck popularity poll, second one, and they're still making waves with novel adaptations, stuff like that. So who knows, maybe soon anime, eventually early 2023 release. Next up, Black Clover fans, in case you don't remember, it was announced that a Black Clover game was coming to mobile after, I want to say it was last year, maybe a couple years ago, they had canceled the Black Clover mobile game that was out for a bit now. It wasn't doing well. Well, they announced another one at Jump Festa, and the graphics and gameplay look like, god damn it, that could be a console game. What the hell are you doing putting it on mobile? And recently they released a whole bunch of different shots from the game. For starters, we got a few of William Vengeance, as you can see him just there. Then we got William Vengeance with Fuegoleon in another shot. Then right here you got some of the character attributes. So it definitely looks like very impressive, of like, you level up the characters, and I can't stress enough the visuals right here. This one of William Vengeance with like the rainbow around him and stuff like that really looks sick. And then a few more other screenshots from the game, one of Noelle and her character stats, another one of Asta and his character stats, Luck, which I wonder how does this work. Like, are you forced to play as Asta? I play with Luck, I ain't gonna lie, I'll run around as Luck unless you get to play as Yami, which I highly doubt they're gonna let you play as a captain. But if you can play as Yami or young Yami, don't ask who I'm playing as. You already know, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then another one of Yuno as well. And I'm not even gonna lie, dog, this game is looking like my favorite gacha mobile game of all time is still Bleach. It's still Bleach Brave Souls. That has been my favorite of all of them. Like, I loved Dokkan, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Bleach Brave Souls just was always a better experience. It always felt like, man, it's like just chibi character running around, but it's so freaking dope. And I loved collecting the cards and all that shit. Like, that was really, really awesome, and still is. It's just that, like, I did everything there is to do on there. I played every level, every mode, everything, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of caught up on that at that point. This Black Clover, if it's even a molecule close to that Bleach Brave Souls, we're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have a problem. I'm not gonna be able to put this down because the graphics are great. It looks really awesome, RPG-ish, and in general, it's Black Clover greatness, baby. Let's go. Okay, people, and last story of the episode, we got the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. It's been a little bit since we've talked about it. Let's see what our favorite authors in the magazine are up to. For starters, we got Shoha Shoten, which is the new manga from, well, it's two creators, but one of the creators was the artist of Death Note and Platinum End and Bakuman. But the author, the one that's writing it, said, Akinari Asakura, Volume 1 is now on sale in Japan. Please check it out. Storyboards with my hellish art are also included. So it seems as though he did the storyboards similar to, like, if you remember Masashi Kishimoto, what he did with Samurai 8, that he wrote it, did storyboards, and then allowed the artist to, you know, recreate it and do all of that good stuff. So that's probably what happened. And then Oba or Obata, I forget which one is the artist, came in and, you know, finished up the art and whatnot. Then we got Ayashimon Yujikaku. Oh my god, Ayashimon has been banging chapter after chapter. I just gotta throw that in there. My 2022 New Year's resolution is to be able to write the comments here effortlessly. Shout outs to Yujikaku. Awesome so far. 8 chapters in. Jujutsu Kaisen Gege Akutami. Y'all know how I feel about Jujutsu Kaisen. The movie is now in theaters. I secretly went to watch it along with the opening comments on the first day. And it's kind of hilarious when I read this because I kind of took a little one over on a couple of these comments. And I would freak out if I knew what Gege Akutami looked like, of course, but I would freak out more if I just happened to be in a theater and ran into Gege Akutami, more so than, like, you know, the whole thing of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, how they snuck into the Spider-Man thing. Nothing against them, because again, I love Spider-Man, all that stuff. Ultimate Spider-Man was my shit back in the day, but like, yo, I'm, you know, fan of all that jazz, but obviously I'm a manga dude, I'm an anime dude, and if I ran into Gege Akutami, I'd probably scream, yeah! Oh my god, please! Ah! Something like that. We got Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. I want to become an adult who can walk into a sushi restaurant alone and order a drink and some fish before quietly leaving. Oda sounds like, with all of these comments that of him wanting to do normal things, it reminds me of like Eminem, how Eminem used to say that it almost felt like his fame and his success and his stardom trapped him in a cage of not being able to do normal things. And that's what it sounds like with Oda, because remember, Oda doesn't show his face no more, but his face is out there, and for the most part, people are gonna recognize Eiichiro Oda, the creator of one of the biggest, no, I'm sorry, the biggest manga of all time. And sometimes I just almost feel a little bit bad for Oda when I read these things, because it comes across as like somebody that they just want to be normal, and because of how successful One Piece is and will continue to be, he can't be. We got My Hero Academia's creator, Kohei Horikoshi. I think I'm about to be awakened to the fun of being on a call while working, so I'm looking for a partner. I'm going to become an on-call geezer. Alrighty then. Dr. Stone's Boichi. I'm proud that the location of James Webb Space Telescope will be at the same place where the comet is in Byakuya. Shout outs to him. Black Clover's author, Yuki Tabata. I was watching Tamori Club and someone who used to draw the background for Black Clover showed up. Long time no see. That's so weird how, like, you know, they have different people coming in and out in their, you know, work life and whatnot. Well, that's happened with me too, so hey. We got Hajime Komodo, author of Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. I suddenly have astigmatism. I really feel old now. Life passes you in the blink of an eye. Man, I'm sending you positive vibes. That's not, you know, something to joke about. Holy shit. And yeah, people, those were all the author comments we have from Weekly Shonen Jump. It's something about Oda's comments and the fact that it's very reminiscent of a lot of the comments he's been saying lately of, I want to do normal things. I want to go to a restaurant and enjoy myself. I want to be able to go and have a drink and just leave quietly. Kind of makes me feel a bit sad for him. Every single year, there's always massive outrage and people just very upset with the results of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. That is pretty much like the biggest anime awards over here in the West that I'm aware of. Obviously, I know I did my top anime of 2021 picks over here, so if you want, you can go check out that video, see what I picked for the best anime of 2021. However, they have multiple different categories, so we're gonna go through each of them, give my opinions, my takes, what I feel they missed out on in general for the nominees for these actual categories. And then I think I forget, and then I want to say within a few days, sometime next week if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be revealing the results, and we'll cover those in another video. But these are the nominees, and so let's take a look and see if they, for the most part, got it right in terms of the series that deserve to be in each category. Quick disclaimer before we get into the awards, there were a couple of anime that will not be, unfortunately, within the nominations. They aren't allowed because of the time frame that they came in. So there will be no JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. That will probably be, if it is nominated, in the next awards because it came out in December. Likewise with the Demon Slayer latest stuff with the Entertainment District, because that started after the closing as well. And I believe they said Gretzko Season 4. So those three won't be included, which 2 of the 3 is some stuff that I'm really, especially JoJo's would have been in there, fam. JoJo's was in my top 10 of 2021. So very unfortunate that JoJo's and Demon Slayer, because oh my god, it's been insane. But maybe next year. So just want to throw that in there for people to, you know, in case they're like, yo, where's Demon Slayer, where's JoJo's? Demon Slayer, it would technically be the Mugen Train stuff, and who was really hype over the readaptation of Mugen Train, you know? So first up, let's take a look at Best Film. And 1 is Bell. I've never seen that one. 2, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time. 3, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train. Then there's 4, Jose the Tiger and the Fish. There's Shirobako, the movie. And Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. Now, amongst these films, first of all, of course, you already know, the biggest film, the most impactful, the most important film of all of these is clearly Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, one of the biggest, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest Japanese film of all time. Like, it just smashed records upon records. It clearly the biggest anime film by leaps and bounds, and just an anomaly in and of itself. But they're saying best film, and in terms of a film, I feel like for the most part a lot of people felt, well, 1, it was unfriendly to people that weren't familiar with the Demon Slayer anime itself. Like, it pretty much is an arc that they adapted into a film, so if you didn't watch Demon Slayer, you might be a little bit lost. Also, there were some complaints I heard that people were like, the second half, or I guess the third quarter of it through is the better parts of it, and there was a lot of slower paced things. But ultimately, I'd honestly say that in terms of best film from this list of what I'm familiar with, I probably honestly would have put either Demon Slayer or the Evangelion film. Evangelion, first of all, that movie was a long time coming. People waited eons, and I know there was some mixed reviews here or there, but for the most part, it probably, and it's, I guess, unfair for me to say because I'm looking at it from an impactful standpoint. I mean, both of them are very high quality films in general in terms of the aesthetics, the visuals, all of that good stuff, the music and everything. But yeah, if I had to pick from that list of the 2 films that I'm most familiar with, it would probably be Evangelion or Demon Slayer, and I'd probably go with Demon Slayer just because it was just so much that I constantly talked about it, and I rewatched it, and I saw it in theaters, and it was one hell of an experience and left me in tears. So I probably would have picked Demon Slayer, and then if it wasn't for Demon Slayer, it probably would have gone to Evangelion because, again, that film was a long time coming. Next category, Best Fantasy. So Best Fantasy Anime, and the nominees are Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Core 1. Ooh, very, very strong. Then there's Ranking of Kings. Oh my god, wait till y'all get that video from me. I have yet to talk about on video Ranking of Kings because I just marathoned and caught up to it recently. That time I got reincarnated as a slime season 2. A lot of people said that was dope. The Case Study of Vanitas, To Your Eternity, and Wonder Egg Priority. All of these were very impactful. Wonder Egg Priority minus the last episode because that's where, you know, kind of went left or whatnot. But Wonder Egg was a big one. To Your Eternity, a big one. The Slime series people always talk about. Ranking of Kings, oh my god. And Mushoku Tensei. Wow, this is a really, really stacked one. I'm not even gonna lie. So off rip, because I'm unfamiliar, we're gonna remove the Case Study of Vanitas. I guess I'm giving my opinion. I'm gonna remove that one. I'm unfamiliar with the Slime series, as I've said many times. So I'm gonna remove that one. Not that I'm unfamiliar. I haven't gotten into it yet. But a lot of people tell me it's dope, so yeah. Then between To Your Eternity, Wonder Egg, Ranking of Kings, and Mushoku, this is tough, I'm not gonna lie, because I got a lot of recency bias with Ranking of Kings, but I probably, just being realistic because of how impactful it was to me and that I didn't miss an episode every single week, To Your Eternity. Probably for Best Fantasy, I gotta go with that. Mushoku's first core was strong. Ranking of Kings, it's too hard for me to really say because I have so much recency bias that I will put it over a lot of things right now because I just caught up. So I'm gonna go with To Your Eternity for Best Fantasy, but Wonder Egg was awesome. It was very trippy. Ranking of Kings, Mushoku, all, honestly, that's a very, very well put together Best Fantasy list. Like, props to the judges for putting that one together. I really can't think of a better list than that. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be an anime or two that that I'm like, oh yeah, that one too. But yeah, I'm gonna rock with To Your Eternity for best fantasy anime. Next up, we got best romance. Okay. We got Beastars, we got Fruits Basket, the final season, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro-san, Horimiya, Komi Can't Communicate, and The Duke of Death and His Maid. Now, I'll be honest with you, of these nominees, I have yet to get into Komi Can't Communicate. I will be, so I can't really judge that one, and I've heard some mixed things. Likewise with Horimiya, The Duke of Death and His Maid, I'm not familiar with either, so it's the top 3 that I'm familiar with. Beastars, now what are we talking about Beastars? Because the first season was 2019, so I guess they're referring to Beastars Season 2, and Beastars Season 2 was a little bit disappointing for me, I'll be honest with you. Fruits Basket, the final season, I haven't ran through all of it yet, to be honest with you, and Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro-san was awesome. But if I'm being objective at the same time, like, of this list, it would probably be, and it's weird, if it was just my own straight up, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I probably would go with Don't Toy With Me. But being objective, just because I know how strong the source material is, and I've been a fan for like, what is it, 11, 12 years now, it's probably going to be Fruits Basket, because I heard it was flawless from, start to finish, and ultimately Fruits Basket is a legend and shit like that. So probably best romance would ideally go to Fruits Basket if I'm being objective and taking myself out of the situation, because otherwise, over Beastars, I would put Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro for Season 2 of Beastars. Season 1 Beastars was awesome. I was not the biggest fan of Season 2 for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, that's my take on best romance. I know I'm the action guy talking about romance, but believe it or not, before I started getting really heavy into action-oriented anime and whatnot, I was more so like into romance manga and romance anime. That's how I kind of started my journey. I was like balancing, like I'm watching Full Metal and Kodacha and Fruits Basket. You know what I'm saying? Like I was dabbling back and forth. Next genre, next list, best drama anime, and these are the nominees. 86, a lot of people said that was hype. Fruits Basket, the final season, again. Kageki Shoujo, a lot of people said Odd Taxi as well. To Your Eternity and Wonder Egg Priority. Now a lot of people said Odd Taxi was very, very big, and I ain't gonna lie, going through this list, it makes me feel like, did I watch a lot of anime? I really felt like I did, okay? I really felt like I watched so much anime in 2021, and then I'm looking at these lists, and I'm like, well, I didn't watch this one, and I didn't watch that one, and I've been meaning to get to this one. But of this list, for best drama, I'd imagine a lot of fans will probably run with 86, although the latest stuff I've kind of heard mixed reviews on. Again, I'd probably keep on picking To Your Eternity or Fruits Basket, one of those if it was just me. Again, Wonder Egg Priority, it was alright. It was like the ending kind of messed things up, and it was really, really freaking trippy. So shout outs to Wonder Egg Priority. I don't want to keep on downplaying it because it was pretty excellent, especially the visuals up until the end. But for that one, best drama, it's probably a toss-up between those 4, and probably it would be, and again, I'm trying to take myself out of it, maybe 86 or Odd Taxi is probably what the masses would say. For me, again, it'd probably have to be just To Your Eternity, because yeah, of the ones I've seen, that was really, really strong. But yeah, that's my take on best drama. Next up, best comedy anime. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Heaven's Design Team, Komi Can't Communicate, Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, Odd Taxi. Again, I'd imagine a lot of the community probably rock with Odd Taxi. I didn't realize there was comedy to it, but I would probably have to go from that list with Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. That shit was hilarious. Seeing her messing with Senpai, that shit was funny as hell. So for that one, for me personally, it would go with Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Maybe the fans would agree with me. Maybe they'd ride with Odd Taxi, or maybe something else on the list, but that's probably what I'd have to go with. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It was just funny. It was really, really funny and unexpected, to be honest with you. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much. I thought I would watch 1 or 2 episodes, see what the hubbub was about, and then walk away. I ended up staying for the whole show and being like, that was a pretty good show, and I'm glad season 2 has been announced. But yeah, best comedy anime. Next up, best action. And here's where I feel like to a certain degree they did snub. They snubbed Black Clover, because if I'm not mistaken, from what everybody's been telling me, and I haven't gone through everything yet, but Black Clover was not nominated for anything in these categories, and I'm kind of like, wait a minute, no Black Clover. And then I'm looking at this list, because this list for best action has Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train Arc, oh, so that did get nominated for something, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, SSS Dyna Xenon, VV Fluorite Eye Song and Wonder Egg Priority. And for best action, I'm rolling with Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm not even saying like, hey, take it. No, it was Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. That was amazing. The Mugen Train stuff, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, it had its moments, but then Season 1 isn't like Season 2 in terms of the CG just wasn't quite right yet. But it was still strong. But yeah, best action, bar none, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, it did it. But VV Fluorite Eye Song was really strong too. Honestly, of the bunch, I might even say it would be Jujutsu Kaisen, then VV, or Jujutsu Kaisen and VV and Attack on Titan tied at number 2. Like, that's how I would go straight up. And probably I'd even put, just keeping it real, VV over Titan, because VV didn't have those CGI problems that I remember with Attack on Titan Final Season. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 of that list, I would put it there. But best action, dog, where's Boruto? Like, we gotta stop. We gotta keep it real, okay? Like, I'm looking at my list. Where's Boruto? Where's One Piece, Wano, Odin clashing against, Whitebeard and shit like that? Where's that? Where's, you know what I'm saying? With Black Clover, with Boruto, where's One Piece? I get it, they're ongoing, but they had some really awesome action that, come on, dog. Like, you playing with me. And Black Clover getting snubbed in general again in its last year of its run. That's ridiculous. So, I'm starting to see a little... Next up, best ending sequence. I'm not too familiar, to be honest with you, with the endings. I usually check out by that point. But we have Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Shogeki by Yuko Ando. We got Beastars, Yasashi Susui by Yoasobi. I want to say I'm saying that right. Shirogane by Lisa. Demon Slayer, yo, I ain't gonna lie, that one was pretty freaking strong. We got Shadow's House, Nai Riona. We got Skate the Infinity by Yuri. And So I'm a Spider, So What? Ganbare Kumoko-san no Theme Watashi. And from those that I remember, I think Beastars was pretty dope too, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, Demon Slayers was, the Mugen Train stuff was very, very solid for the ending. So I'm gonna roll with Lisa, Shirogane. Yeah, it is what it is. Then rolling on from best ending sequence to best opening sequence. And oh wow, they don't have... because I was going to say even probably Mugen Train might have got opening sequence for me as well, because I was really hype off for that. We got Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Boku no Senso, Shinsei Kamate-chan, which is the band that did it. I remember that was okay, that opening. It wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. Beastars opening was pretty dope for that season. Ooh, oh, no. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is so tough. But anyway, the next one, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2's opening. I'm just going to roll through because, like, yeah, pronouncing this, I sound terrible. Miss Kobayashi, Dragon Maid S, Odd Taxi, and Tokyo Revengers for opening. I'm not even going to lie. It's a toss-up between Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 and Tokyo Revengers for best opening sequence, because I actually have both of them and I listen to both of them on my spare time. So this is really tough, and the visuals were pretty dope too. Again, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 was dope. Man, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably still gotta go with Jujutsu Kaisen. As much as I liked Crybaby, yeah, that shit is dope, but that Jujutsu Kaisen, dog, in every way, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jujutsu Kaisen. But again, dog, you couldn't at least have put Black Clover in for best opening sequence? Like, Black Clover had a really, really strong one. I'm just saying. I'm a little bit disgusted at the exclusion of Black Clover on here. I gotta keep it real. Like, come on. And nobody, I don't care, you wanna come, oh, it's mid or whatever. Okay, fine and dandy. That has no bearing on the fucking opening that it had, the last opening. Oh my god. Like, I just imagine in my head right now, Asta as he's walking all buff and shit. The new world. Oh my god. And I totally butchered it the way I sang it, but yeah, that's Robbery, because it would have gone to Black Clover for me personally. Then we got Best VA Performance in English. I can't really comment on that because I didn't really watch any of these in dub. I didn't really watch much dub in general, so I'm going to skip over that. I mean, I'll tell you the nominations. It's Fina, Pirate Princess, Brittany Cox as Fina, Fruits Basket Final Season, Laura Bailey. Alright, you know what? Yuji Itadori, Adam McCarthy, Skate the Infinity, David Wold, Wonder Egg Priority. On that. Oh, shoot. Okay. It either will be, and this is just straight up as, hey, I recognize their names and whatnot. It would either be Anaris Quinones from Wonder Egg Priority as Rika Kawaii, or Laura Bailey as Toru Honda in Fruits Basket. I'm gonna tie it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because Anna Reese is freaking incredible, but Laura Bailey is a legend in voice acting. She's the voice behind Kid Trunks, Toru Honda. So yeah, I'm gonna tie both of them for me personally. Fruits Basket and When They're a Priority tie. And again, that's just straight up no bearings on their performance in the show. It's more so, hey, I recognize them. They're pretty freaking awesome. Then, best VA performance in Japanese. Okay, this is where I could give my input on there. We got Ayane Sakura as Gabby Braun in Attack on Titan Part 1. Oh, God. Could I give Gabby any props? We got Yuki Kaji as Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. Kiyoshi Kobayashi, Daisuke Jigen, Lupin the Third Part 6. Natsuki Hane. Oh man, but Natsuki Hane, he's pretty freaking awesome. And Odd Taxi as Odokawa, Aoi Yuki, Kumoko, So I'm a Spider, So What, and Kanata, Aikawa, oh my god, I sound horrible saying these things, from Wonder Egg Priority. I'm giving it to Eren Yeager, Yuki Kaji, hands down, period. Like, Eren frickin' Yeager for the win, and especially that was Core 1, he did his thing in Core 1, showing the change in Eren Yeager as a character. So yes, Eren Yeager, best Japanese performance for me. Moving forward, we got best score. That's the music. We got Hiroyuki Sawano and Kota Yamamoto for 86. Ooh, Hiroyuki Sawano is a legend. We got Yuki Kaijura and Go Shina for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba's Train Arc. We got Mabanua for Megalobox 2 Nomad. Pumpe, Va, and OMSB for Odd Taxi. Satoru Kosaki for Vivi Fluorite Eye Song. Dede Mouse and Mito for Wonder Egg Priority. Again, this is based off of my experiences. Ooh, man, I see Hiroyuki Sawano. I so am tempted, and I might say like, hey, probably the fans are going to say 86 because I'd imagine Hiroyuki Sawano, he never misses. But for me personally, ooh, the score for the Mugen Train stuff was solid, but the score for Megalobox 2 Nomad, that they went in a more Hispanic sounding, like straight out of Mexico type of vibe and everything, it was nailed. It was something different for anime. I gotta go with Nomad. I gotta go with Megalobox 2, like straight up. That was one of the important factors of what they did. Like, they made it all feel like a little bit different. Like, they're in Mexico. This is all Hispanic culture, Hispanic music, and the cues matched it very well, and it felt like, oh wow, this is a different vibe from season 1. All constructed, and a lot of it had to do with the music. So I gotta go with Megalobox. Best character design, we got Tadashi Hiramatsu. Okay, the best character designer, I'd imagine. Then we got Baku Kinoshita and Hiromi Nakayama. Taxi, Atsuko Nozaki, Ranking of Kings. Michironi Chiba, Skate the Infinity, Laundry Flat Studio, and Yuichi Takahashi, Vivi Fluorite Eye Song, and Saki Takahashi, Wonder Egg Priority. Ooh. Okay, so while Jujutsu Kaisen had really strong art and all that jazz, and I might even say, yo, that's in the running, for me personally, ooh, Ranking of Kings. Ranking of Kings, if it was animation, I probably would have gave it to Ranking of Kings for this category, like strictly off animation, but the character designs are very simplistic for that one, and again, I want to try to extract my bias as much as possible, my recency bias. I'm going to go with Vivi. I'm going to go with Vivi because those character designs, especially the detail in the eyes of Vivi, oh my god, it was absolutely gorgeous. So for best character design, it's going to Vivi for me, period. Like, that shit just look, the characters themselves look gorgeous. So yeah, that's a category I could definitely give to Vivi. Then moving forward, okay, we're in the animation. Did they? Oh no, but there's no Ranking of Kings, of course. Best animation: Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Mugen Train Arc, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Core 1, Vivi Fluorite Eye Song, and Wonder Egg Priority. Oh my god, this is really, really tough. And honestly, whichever one gets it, but wow. And I'm also noticing, again, there was some snubs for this one. Like, where is, again, One Piece? Wano was absolutely legendary. Where is Boruto? There was some incredible looking Boruto. Where's To Your Eternity on this list as well? Like, there was a few that could have been on here for best animation. And to be honest with you, it's really tough, and there's almost no wrong answer for best animation. But it might be Mugen Train, but it's just so unfair because most of those aesthetics were reused from a film. So, honestly, I'd probably throw... Damn, what would I pick? Holy shit. I'm gonna say Demon Slayer, but it's really unfair because, again, that was a movie turned into a a TV series, so that's so unfair. But Jujutsu Kaisen was really strong, and Vivi's animation was incredible as well. So yeah, it's by a cheat. I would give it to Demon Slayer by cheating and using movies. So yeah. Best Director: Yuichiro Hayashi, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. Sung-Hoo Park, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. Yo Moriyama, Megalobox 2 Nomad. Baku Kinoshita, Odd Taxi. Shingo Natsume, Sunny Boy. And Shin Wakabayashi for Wonder Egg Priority. Best Director. Again, that's another tough one because the direction, I would argue, a lot of it that saved Attack on Titan, you know, switching studios and everything, the director probably did an amazing job. Again, Jujutsu Kaisen was just damn near perfect, and the direction was incredible as well. Megalobox 2, the director did a phenomenal job of setting the atmosphere and the dark tone of everything and just the way it was put together. Odd Taxi, so many people would say Odd Taxi. And Wonder Egg Priority. Wow. Again, there's really almost no wrong answer here. I'm not familiar too much with Sunny Boy. I've heard good things about it, but it could either go to Jujutsu Kaisen. I'd probably even give it to Wonder Egg Priority because that was really trippy, and it takes a real creative director mind to put together and string all of this wacky insanity together and put it in such a beautiful look. Again, apart from the final episode. But, again, you could easily give it to Jujutsu Kaisen. You could easily give it to Attack on Titan minus the CG issues. Moving forward, best fight scene. Eren Yeager versus the Warhammer Titan in Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. That was a strong one. Naruto Uzumaki versus Ishiki Otsutsuki, Boruto Naruto Next Generations. You're probably thinking, Fenev, we know you're going to pick that one. And you're right. Yuji Itadori and Aoi Todo versus Hanami. Oh my god, that looks so good in Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji Itadori and Nobara Kugisaki versus Ezo and Kechizu and Jujutsu Kaisen again. Elma versus Toru and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. Again, I'm not really familiar with that one. And Vivi versus Yugo Kakitani, Vivi Fluoride Eyes Song. I'm giving it to Boruto, hands down. That fight was incredible. That fight broke the internet. And if it wasn't for that one, it'd probably go next to Attack on Titan. Jujutsu Kaisen had great fights, but nothing broke the internet quite like those. Nothing was as impactful, and it was just incredible to see Naruto actually boxing, throwing hands in a life or death situation. I'm giving it to Boruto, don't care. And honestly, Black Clover should have been, again, involved in one of these. Next up, best antagonist. Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan. Tomura Shigaraki, My Hero Season 5. Yano from Odd Taxi. Echidna from ReZero. Ooh. Adam from Skates the Infinity. And Teta Kisaki from Tokyo Revengers. I'ma keep it a buck with you. Ooh, Eren, the thing about it is he an antagonist, or is he a protagonist, or is he an anti-hero? What is Eren Yeager? That's the interesting question, because for me personally, I'm going to either roll with, and no, you know what? Because I remember when I was watching it, and I remember saying, oh no, this guy is truly the devil. I'm giving it to Teta Kisaki. He was the devil, and Tokyo Revengers honestly got snubbed through a lot of these categories. I'm giving it to Kisaki, period. But Eren Yeager is not really a wrong answer per se. Tomura Shigaraki, My Hero Season 5, just didn't do him justice, man. And the witch Echidna was pretty freaking insane. Then we got Best Protagonist. Once again, Eren Yeager, which I love it. They don't know if he's a protagonist or antagonist. Eren Yeager, Yuji Itadori, Jujutsu Kaisen, Joe from Megalobox, Odokawa, Odd Taxi, Boji from Ranking of Kings, and Odo from Wonder Egg Priority. Okay, Best Protagonist. Ooh! Oh, this is so freaking tough for me. Cause like I'm looking right here. I'm like, I could give it to Eren. You know what? Okay, I could immediately make a subtraction and say, while Yuji is dope, I wouldn't give him Best Protagonist. Like, if it was Gojo, it'd be a different story. So we can remove him. I could give it to Joe. I'll be honest with you. Joe from Megalobox 2, very, very strong. Odokawa, again, I'm not familiar with Odd Taxi, and people probably screaming, Fenev, you're doing, I know. So I'm not sure about that one. Boji from Ranking of Kings. Ooh, oh my god. And Odo from Wonder Egg Priority. She was alright. I'm gonna just keep it real. My recency bias would automatically say, no, Boji all day. But realistically, Joe and everything he went through, like, this man went through a lot, dog. And Nomad, he fought through addiction. He fought through feeling like a loser. He fought through his demons. He fought through... I gotta give it to Joe. Eren is a very strong one as well. But again, Eren is just different, okay? Eren is different. Yuji's alright, but in comparison to what these guys went through. Boji went through a lot, dog. He went through a lot as well, just being treated so horribly. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe. I'm gonna go with Joe from Nomad, and a lot of people didn't watch Nomad, so people are gonna be pissed, but whatever. It's my opinion. Then we got Best Girl. We got Vladilena Milze from 86. We got Toru Honda, Fruits Basket, Nobara Kugisaki, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sarasa Watanabe from Kageki Shoujo, Shoko Komi from Komi Can't Communicate, and Ai Oto from Wonder Egg Priority. And Best Girl, I'd probably... Man, I'm so biased. I would probably go Nobara maybe, or again, I'm unfamiliar with some of them, so I'd probably just go with Toru Honda because she's a legend. I'm sorry. I know people are like, no, you got it wrong, or maybe even Ai Oto, because Ai Oto, that again, wacky shit there with Wonder Egg. But yeah, I'd probably go. I'm gonna give it to Toru Honda. This is Fruits Basket's last hoorah in many ways. I mean, I know there's some spin-offs and other stuff going on, but yeah, I'm gonna give it to Toru Honda. And then last two, we got Best Boy. Finally, Dr. Stone gets included in some shit. Senku Ishigami for Dr. Stone Season 2. I can't believe they actually gave something to, or at the very least, give him a nomination. We got Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya. We got Otokawa from Odd Taxi. We got Boji from Ranking of Kings. And we got Ken and Mikey from Tokyo Revengers. God damn it. I was going to give it to Boji again, but Mikey, dog, and Ken. Oh, my God. Okay, I can't. I'm going to keep it real. I can't do it. It's a three-way tie. Mikey, Ken, and Boji. Period. For me. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Dr. Stone, I just feel like Best Boy, this wasn't the right category for it. I don't know what would have been the right, but not Best Boy. And then lastly, the nominations for Anime of the Year, the most important category. Again, a lot of things were slighted. There's no Black Clover, which that'd be a little bit unfair to even put in Anime of the Year because it finished early. There's no Tokyo Revengers on here because the nominees anyway: 86, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Odd Taxi, Ranking of Kings, and Sunny Boy. Okay, if I had to choose between all of these, I'm not even gonna lie, I would probably put for Anime of the Year, probably Ranking of Kings. I'm gonna just keep it real. Probably Ranking of Kings. And there's a lot of people that probably never seen it. You should go check it out. It's by Wit Studio, the former studio to Attack on Titan that did seasons 1 through 3. They also did Villain Saga. You will understand what I'm talking about, and then I'll make my video eventually. Trust me. But probably from this, because again, Jujutsu Kaisen, that's Core 2. That's the second half of the anime. Attack on Titan, that's the first, what was it, 16? Which it was still very strong. 86, I'm unfamiliar like that. Odd Taxi, I'm sure there's people screaming, no, Odd Taxi. I'd probably go with Ranking of Kings, and if it wasn't for Ranking of Kings, it would have been Attack on Titan for me personally, but I could see easily the community running with Odd Taxi or 86, but I'm going with Ranking of Kings of this list, but I still feel Tokyo Revengers should have been in this one. VV could have been in this one. ReZero, like, honestly, they did an eye job, but there was a lot of snubs of all of these nominations, and I guess it's time to wait and see who won for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Curious what you guys think about all this. Thanks for watching this long special episode of Forever News. What do you think about the nominations for the Anime Awards? What do you think were snubbed? Your thoughts on just in general these categories and the nominations. Boruto should have got more nominations. Black Clover didn't get nominated for anything, even opening, which I feel like that was robbery. Tokyo Revengers deserved a little bit more, but they did get some of it right, and I'm glad that they included things like Ranking of Kings because that shit was freaking awesome. And I noticed a lot of Odd Taxi and 86 all over the place. That was kind of crazy. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another special episode of Whatever News. Have an awesome day.
So just go to find me.